What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 124 of the Tasty Cast, a weekly podcast where we talk about things, react to things, do a bunch of random shit. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm Chris.
A couple quick reminders to download and play Street Fighter V and PUBG, both offer for free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, come back at the end of this month for Plus Club. Let us know what we thought of those games. We'll let you know what we thought of those games. And our game of the month picked by Chevy is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which is a top-down 1 to 4 player cooperative, carry the crystal, don't fucking get it, take it from you, kill things when they get near you game. Make sure to play that, come back at the end of the month for game of the month as well. We're going to talk about that. And type in hashtag AskTLG on your comment if you'd like your comment to be considered for our replying to your comment segment on every Tasty Cast, which we will be doing in this episode. Type in hashtag AskTLG on your comment and I will consider it to be read on the show. Otherwise, I pick at random. We have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. And we got a Patreon link down below as well. You can support the channel even further than liking, commenting, and sharing the video and watching it all the way through, which is all appreciated. Your support is very appreciated. Thank you. Am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing anything. We start every Tasty Cast of what we've been playing. You guys ever Tasty Cast before?
No.
This is my first. This is my first 124th episode and my last.
Same.
Of the Tasty Cast.
No, I'm not even here.
I'm not present for this one. I'm on vacation. So I'll start first, just because I have 2 games. No, I have 3. I have 3 games. I'm not gonna fucking type it in. So I've played 3 games in the last week, and one is Guild Wars 2. I've been playing that pretty much nightly. I'll come home from work, I'll play it. The game is set up with a lot of exploration progress, which I really kind of dig. So it's easy to kind of hop in, knock out these things they call masteries, which allow you to work towards features in the game. I recently have got enough masteries in the game to unlock not only my 2nd, but my 3rd mount. So I have the Velociraptor, which jumps horizontally really far. I've got that to level 4, I think, now, so it jumps really fucking far, and I love it. I have the Springer, which is a rabbit-styled... there's many skins, so you can change it, but the default one is like a rabbit-looking thing, kangaroo rabbit thing. It jumps vertically really high. It's pretty cool. I like it. The game has this interesting Metroidvania thing to it, where you go into a zone, you start grabbing all the masteries, and then you'll see a mastery, and you're like, how the fuck am I supposed to get that? And you're supposed to go get the next mount and come back to it. Although there are some you can exploit. I watched a video of one where this person's like, if you don't have Springer level 3, there's no way you can get up here without the Jackal. And I was like, I showed up, I looked at it, and I was like, what if I went that way? And I just jumped up there and got it. And I was like, okay. So, and I like that I was even able to do that. So that's one of the aspects of this game I really enjoy when it comes to progressing through exploration. And then I unlocked the, Skimmer, which is... kind of it looks like some kind of manta ray style underwater aquatic almost said vehicle animal. It flies a little bit off the ground, so there's zones with quicksand and shit and lava and stuff like that, and it's handy for that. If you hold one of the buttons, I think the space bar, it'll actually float upward, but it runs out of energy, so you can kind of get off the ground a bit. There is a flying mount in the game. I'm not near unlocking that yet. My next one is the Jackal, which I pretty much have everything ready to get it, except for you need 20 gold. I think I have 19 gold, and I'm almost there. So I'll be getting the Jackal soon, and just draining my fucking bank account apparently. But yeah, that's what I've been doing in Guild Wars 2. Really enjoying it. The mounts in that game are so... mounts are in most MMOs, they just work. They act the same way you do in controls and stuff like that. And in this game, they all feel different, which is kind of cool. And they'll have abilities, which I really like. So I've been enjoying knocking those out and getting that sense of progression and getting rewards that I'm really enjoying. So I also played The Last of Us Part 2 quite a bit. I've played it quite a bit. I think I have 4 hours left in the game. When you look at the averages of how long people take to play the game, I'm I think I'm 19 hours into it. I think most people it takes 24 to 26 hours to beat. Holy shit, my opinion on that game which I'm not going to discuss here in detail, is very nuanced. And if I decide to discuss this in some kind of spoiler review, nobody's going to be happy with me. The people who hate this game are not going to like me, and the people who love this game, not going to like me. Although they'll probably like me a little bit more because the further I play into it, I feel like they did what they needed to do to make the story work for people. I don't know how else to really word it. Like, I was afraid that if they couldn't nail it, all the hate's justified. And some of it is. A little bit. Like, if you dislike the game, you dislike the game. But yeah. So far, though, I think it is a weaker game, storyline-wise, than the original Last of Us. I have not beaten it. It might change once I beat it. Gameplay-wise, miles ahead. It's a way... In every fucking way, the game is better, except for, I think the storyline is not as good as the first game, but I do think it is... I'm going to upset people. I think it's a pretty... If the leaks never came out, I don't think people would have been as upset because the way the story is laid out. I think they took really big risks with that, and I think that they could have really nailed it if people didn't go into it with a preconceived idea of it. So, and I'm guilty of that as well. But I do still have some pretty big complaints about the game that I'll talk about later that have not been changed. So I'm not in the middle of the road. I'm liking the game more than I'm disliking it for sure. And I do think the story is fine. And I think all the actors are fucking phenomenal. These are some of the best performances. Even the girl who plays Ellie, this is like the best she's done. Like, she does a really good job in this. The person who plays another character I don't want to talk about, I guess, because people might not know they exist if they didn't see leaks or stayed off the internet. They do a fantastic job too, regardless if you like that character or not. They do a fucking fantastic job. So just constantly impressed with the just the hard work that people put into this game. So can't wait to talk about it in a form that I can talk about it without having to worry about spoiling things for people. It's very difficult, specifically with this game, because this is it's just a game that, like, is saying almost anything about it, you're just gonna ruin it for somebody else. So yeah. But yeah, can't wait to beat it and talk about it. And then I played Spellbreak, which is a brand new battle royale. Brand new one. They're still coming out, guys. They ain't dead. And the thing that kind of differentiates this from battle royales right now is it is magic based. So you're playing as a person who's a mage. Everyone's a mage, and when you start out a match, you decide one of 6 builds you want to start with: fire, electricity, rock, or earth, or whatever. And that takes up half of your attacks. And then as you're running around doing the typical battle royale stuff, you drop in, you run around, you either play with people or play solos. You run around and find amulets, boots, relics, all sorts of shit. And some of that will make up your other half of your moves. And there's a really cool synergy. So for instance, if you're using the toxic spells, you can shoot a toxic cloud that makes people take poison damage. But then if you have fire as your secondary spell set, you can hit the gas and it'll blow up. And they say in the tutorial there's all sorts of fucking things that work together. They want you to figure it out. So I think that's kind of a neat thing. It plays well. It's on PS4. It's on PC. I'm pretty sure it's on Xbox. It has crossplay. I don't know if it has cross PC to console crossplay, but it has crossplay. And yeah, you run around, you find runes and all sorts of shit, and you equip them. There's different rarities of runes and stuff like that. So if you find one of the same that you have, or a different one that's higher level or higher rarity, I guess, you can switch it or just upgrade the one you have, which is kind of a cool system. It's kind of no bullshit, which I really like, because when I played Hyperscape, it felt clunky and shitty, and I didn't enjoy the flow of the game. And that's really important, specifically because there's already battle royales out right now that have just nailed flow in the game. It just fucking works, and they do it really good. So if you can't even come close to that, it's really hard to even humor playing it. This game, I think, it flows really well. There is a bit more of like stopping to look at gear than in like normal battle royales. Like you'll just run up and grab fucking ammo and go, or like, oh, there's a gun, I'm just gonna grab that. But in this, like, I'm like looking at the relic going like, okay, it's a fire one. This boot or these boots over here, is that like, I don't know. I'm like stopping more often, which kind of stresses me out. But it's also interesting too because every character has a jump button, but then if you hold the jump button, you levitate into the air, but you can't go too high. But then there's I think they're relics or runes. It's one of the two. One of the items gives you like an ult move, gives you like a special move, and one of them lets you like fly really fucking high into the air, and then you can use that hover move to kind of slowly float around in the air, which I think is pretty neat. And yeah, I've played 4 matches and I've won 2 of them, so I'm pretty happy with that. All solos so far. I played 3 matches on PS4. My first match, I was like 39th, rank 39, so I got my ass kicked. I also didn't do the tutorial, so I just like ran up, grabbed a bunch of items, and then people attacked me. I'm like, what? I just died. And then the second match, I played with a squad, and I just died like instantly. But we got to rank 8, so pretty decent. And then my third match, I murdered 6 people, and I won. And I was like, that was cool. And then I downloaded it on PC, and I was like, I wonder if I'll be able to do as good as I did that last time. And then I ended up winning. And I was like, I only got 2 kills that round, but like, as the circle was getting smaller and smaller, I was in like the top 5. I was just kind of like letting people fight and shit. And then when I saw the last 2 guys engage each other, I just like came at them and fucking killed. One guy killed the other guy, but then I killed the other one. So I got the win. So pretty happy with that. And yeah, I would recommend Spellbreak to people. If you're kind of whatever about the battle royale genre, I'm not gonna tell you fucking run out. This one's gonna change your mind. This one's gonna bring in. You're gonna love it.
Game changer.
But if you are playing battle royales and you're pretty set on the ones you're playing, or you're kind of getting burnt out on them, I feel like this one is traditional, but also offers some new ways to think about battle royales. It's not revolutionary, but the casting moves and having AoEs and stuff like that while fighting each other, I think is pretty fun. It feels similar to PvP without the long battles of PvP. My first match where I won, I had this invisibility move, and I kept like, I'd like run behind boxes, just turn it on, and then a guy would come running up looking for me, and run behind him and go boom, and I just nuke him and kill him instantly. And he just fucking drop all his items. And then like legit, I did that at one point, and then I saw a guy come over the hill, and I went invisible again, went behind the boxes, and the guy just came walking up like someone put out some tasty treats for a dog. He's like came up to the guy I just murdered him. Fresh, still steaming. He fucking walks up, and he just starts looking through the items. And I come walking up behind him again, and I go, boom, and I just fucking killed him instantly. I was like, oh man. I was like, this almost feels OP, but invisibility's in everything. Like, it's not... It's just weird how the guy's just like, I heard something. Oh, someone died. Let me go through his shit. Not even thinking like, where'd the other guy go?
Where's the victor?
Exactly. Which is, I'm not even going to say this like this is some kind of like fucking sweet hot tip to give you guys, but always approach a fucking situation in a game like that, assuming the guy who killed the guy is probably still around. It was so fucking weird to see. But yeah.
It's like real life.
Yeah. Also, one thing though, here's something I gotta throw out there. A lot of the moves actually do like splash damage to you as well. So I've seen so many times when you're looking on the left side of the screen and it's saying all the people dying, I'll see people who've killed themselves constantly, and I'm like, God damn, just fucking dying and shit. I'm like,
it's Rocket Launcher and Halo all over again.
Pretty much, yeah. It's pretty rough, but yeah, anyway, I plan on playing Spellbreak more, probably on PC. I think it plays way better on PC. It's interesting, too. On PS4, you have your spells kind of set up like, I don't even remember at this point, but it feels like you would expect. But on mouse and keyboard, left click is your first set of spells. I think Q is the secondary version of that spell. And then right click is your other spell set. And then E is the other one, which is kind of interesting that on the same mouse you can have 2 different elements. I don't know. It just kind of is. I think it's a better system than on PS4. I'm sure you can change the fucking buttons on your PS4, or console. But I like the way it plays on PC quite a bit. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Chevy.
Let's see. I didn't really play a whole lot this last week. I played the game of fixing our internet.
Which has been a off and on thing.
Yeah, hopefully that's solved.
Yeah.
For some reason, our ISP thought we wanted to cancel our service, which was never, ever communicated. So that was fun.
Someone just kind of created that idea in their head. I feel like they want to cancel their service.
Other than that, I've been just kind of coming home playing Final Fantasy 14. The night the internet went out was supposed to be my raid night, so I kind of lost hours of...
Sounds like a horror movie title.
Of raid time, huh?
Sounds like a horror movie title, The Night the Internet Went Out.
It's pretty horror filled, so...
Yeah. It's a millennial fucking horror movie.
Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot to report there. I've kind of like been leveling my ninja a little bit here and there. Still working on my Yokai Watch event stuff. I think I have 2 weapons left. And then I'm done with that event. And other than that, hopefully next week when raid night comes around, the internet will be on. So, other than that, I played a little bit of EDF with Chris, which I won't go too into, but we got to... Was it the 40th map now, I think?
We made it to like 1.7% through the game.
Yeah.
On your way up.
Yeah. I know Steam says we got about a little over 7 hours, so I'd say 2/3 of that would be playing. You spend a lot of time in menus in that game, so especially when it comes to like, you know, setting up your build for the next match and stuff like that. So
I thought you were specifically saying Chris does. Yeah,
just in general, the lobby does.
I thought you were calling him out. You spend a lot of time in the menus.
Anyone who is
I do.
familiar with EDF 5, we have very recently been introduced to the wasps. So,
oh god,
yeah, yeah, that's fun. I'm always down to play that. It's mindless fun and really easy to lose track of time. So,
Oh yeah,
that's it. That's all I've been playing.
Chris.
I'm gonna jump off that into the EDF thing. In particular, it is fun. The Wasps in particular, though, the level that we started playing against them, we had cleared all the ones that are like on the buildings. I'm like, these fuckers are big, but they're not that bad. And Chevy goes, "Oh no, they're in the sky." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And I look up, and it's just like this like invasion force of giant wasps flying into the sky, just like hundreds of them. It's just horrifying.
Yeah, it's
And I chase them
pretty
around.
unnerving.
Yeah. And I chase them around a corner. I'm like, okay, they're all gathered over here. I'm gonna get my because I'm playing the wing diver. So you fly around, you got big laser shows. I'm gonna go around here, and I'm gonna throw my like homing missile AOE bomb thing. And I come around the corner, and they're just all motionless, just sitting there collectively around buildings and the ground and stuff like that. Like, what the fuck is happening? And I fly a little bit closer, and they all just go, ugh. They all come alive, and they just start swarming. It was horrifying. Like, you see those videos of bees, like, they're defending their nest, and they'll all just kind of shimmy in a row? Mm-hmm. It was like that. It was just awful. It was just, it was so gross. But it was fun. I also played 15, or 14, as per usual. We raided, unfortunately, the first raid without Chevy.
First 2.
Or we cleared first 2, yes. We cleared the first raid, Ramu, twice. Only because the wrists drop again, which is what one of our raid members, Toki, needed, and he didn't get them. So we convinced the raid group to stay with us so that he could get them. So now we don't have to run Ramu anymore, unless you want to do it for alts. But now we are stuck on Conflag over Führer, over and over again.
It's a mechanic.
Yeah.
It's called conflict. I can't even say it now. Conflagration.
Conflagration.
Yeah.
I feel like you shouldn't be saying that word.
I feel like I'm tired of looking at it.
Me
It's
too.
a tough mechanic for us.
Yeah, I would argue it's not us at this point,
look,
because we don't have full static, and we have to get new people every single week. We do this, and so there is an element of like learning to play with the people every week, which takes some time. And because of the time in which we begin to raid, people start getting tired by the time we start getting a synergy. So it makes it really hard to get past that, because that's just it's effectively, without going into too much detail of that mechanic, it is rapid fire things happening, and you have to do all of them perfect or everyone dies. So
You have to be in exact positions across the map, otherwise you blow up everybody else.
yeah, so
Sounds frustrating. Sounds like when I play Fall Guys and it's the sports one. with the ball.
Oh, yeah. Help me. That one.
I mean, I think
How may?
I think it's fun, but it is wearing, and we do have a couple people. I'm not going to name them, but they're
Name
not,
them, call them out.
They're not as patient,
We have a platform they don't.
they
Destroy them.
they start getting tired and grumpy about it. So
Yeah, I get tired and grumpy sometimes.
Yeah.
it's not a good raid mentality.
Not in a game. That doesn't happen very often, but
But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's fine.
I'm not opposed to being a grump chump.
We are consistently getting that mechanic though, which is nice. So you know that we have everything else down. It's
Yeah.
just kind of fine tuning that last
We're
one.
also seeing Enrage more often, which is the end of the fight. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of having the DPS to kill the boss before it kills us. Is effectively what Enrage is. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I've been spending a lot of time playing Warcraft again lately. World of Warcraft.
Okay, I was about to say
Warcraft 1,
Warcraft.
the original.
Yeah. No, not the original.
That'd be wild.
Keith finally broke me down and convinced me to play it with him, and I'm enjoying it. It's definitely more of a nostalgia factor for me at this point. Of like, oh, I remember this. The music kicks in. I'm like, oh, I remember spending hours in this music. But they've got an interesting thing going on right now. Part of the campaign for the Shadowlands coming out. There's 100% experience buff across the entire world right now. So I have a level 70, a level almost 90, and a level 109 in the last 4 days.
What's the cap now?
120.
God damn.
It's
They're
real
going to do a
quick.
stat squish this expansion, though, right?
Keith, from what I've heard, I haven't looked into it, but Keith said that they are doing a stat and level squished. I think they're dropping the cap back down to 50 again.
Yeah, no.
And squishing everybody's stats.
The only reason I've even heard about it is because Square's going to do the same thing within the next couple expansions for Final Fantasy, because the numbers get so big it becomes ridiculous to look at.
I mean, you're looking at people who have like 600 million HP in their players. It's like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just, you're doing like 3 million DPS. It's too hard to keep track of that stuff, and it's just dumb.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously, like, I don't know too many MMOs who have that kind of lifespan and who have run into that kind of problem because they didn't have the same kind of growth. Like Final Fantasy 11, for example, still running, but they stopped releasing content forever ago. So it's not like they've had this exponential math problem that keep happening.
Right.
I mean, maybe EverQuest, but I don't know how big their leaps and bounds were with each expansion. As for, like, I would say starting with World of Warcraft, power jumps between expansions are huge, and Final Fantasy 14 follows that trend as well, where it has these huge power jumps in between expansions. So it's kind of a weird hole to dig yourself in, math-wise.
It's crazy
Yeah.
EverQuest still releases fucking expansions.
Yeah, I don't imagine it's very expensive to make anymore, though, but it
Still,
is crazy. Yeah.
Somebody's working on that game. Like, it's fucking wild.
Yeah. But I'm enjoying it for what it is at the moment. I'm not super committed into buying the expansion at all at the moment, but I am having fun. And just kind of exploring stuff that I have, done before. I am playing as a new race, though, that I haven't played as before. I'm playing as the Zandalari Troll, which is really fun.
What is that?
They're one of the races introduced in the Battle for Azeroth. They're a sect of trolls that kind of live like, I don't know the exact lore. They live away from other trolls. They're kind of like more like Aztec Mayan themed. And they can be druids too, but they're dinosaurs when they're druids. It's really fucking cool. So like my flight form's a pterodactyl. It's real fun. But yeah, I'm just enjoying it for what it is at the moment. Nothing, super invested. Just kind of run around having a good time. I've also been playing some Monster Hunter here and there. Nothing crazy to report there yet. Haven't gotten to endgame yet. But I did play a couple hours of Warframe the other night with my brother, which was actually really fun. And I beat a Kuva Lich, my first Kuva Lich. That's how long it's been since I've really put a lot of time and effort into the games. I beat my first Kuva Lich finally, and got the special gun off them. So it's fun to mess around with that. But and seeing all the new Corvus maps is really nice. How they've redone all that.
Yeah, I
Really
want
nice.
to check that out.
It's they're just like completely different, and like there's new enemies for the Corvus, and they all have different looks, and they all have different names, and there's some crazy ass shit in there. Like Alad V made some sort of amalgamation between a Moa and those fucking shield robots, those ones that fly around. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Osprey?
They're like welded together. I think it's an Osprey. And then there's some of them that are two Moa legs just welded together, so there's like this like it kicks at you, and then it goes like General Grievous mode, where it gets on all fours and just kind of crawls at you real quick. It's terrifying.
Ew.
Yeah, and he calls them his amalgamations. They're just horrifying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's fun.
Like the amount of stuff they keep adding to that game, and like I just at this point have not caught up at all, and like they just keep adding more and more, and I'm just like, by the time I get back to that game, like it's gonna be a different fucking game.
There's already a new story thing that I haven't even touched yet. There's a couple of story things that I haven't gotten into yet because I'm trying to keep up with like unlocking the warframes before I move further into the story.
Yeah, that
But
makes
some
sense.
of them take a lot of resources to get to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but for the people who have been playing so much, they gotta have something to work towards. So,
Or a
Absolutely.
reason to spend those resources.
yeah,
Because
Yeah,
it just
for sure.
becomes something you've accumulated. So
Right.
you
But
got
yeah,
to the
they're
point.
doing
Out-
great work with it. It looks fantastic.
Yeah. Are you playing on PC right now?
No, PS4,
PS4?
on for Warframe. Yeah, I have a PC account that I hop into once in a while just because of the graphics. But the fact that I have nothing on there compared to my PS4, where I have a shit ton, is just daunting to
It's
think about.
literally the only reason I don't play on PC.
Yeah, my brother logged into his PC one too because he finally remembered the passcodes for it, and he has Excalibur Prime on there. I was like, that's worth a lot of fucking money. Like a lot of fucking money.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I've been doing.
Nothing else? Anything else?
Nothing else.
All right. Well, that was a pretty short and easy what we've been playing. Let us know in the comments, what have you guys been playing? What games would you recommend us play? What games would you not recommend us play? Maybe you play something that's fucking awful and you're like, just don't touch it. I've been hearing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is like really good.
I keep hearing that too.
Yeah.
Same.
Easy Allies gave it like a 9, so that's a game I'm looking forward to playing soon. For anybody who's wondering about this, I found out it's on console. It is on PC, but it's on the Epic Games Store. Because when I went to look for it, I was like, it's not on PC. I looked on Steam. There's no Tony Hawk anything. There's like Tony something racer guy, and then Tony something Fisher guy. A lot of Tonys on there, but not the one I'm looking for. But on Epic Games Store, they have it. So if you are on PC and hoping to play it, it's on there. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up on there, or if I'm going to pick it up on PS4, but I do want to pick it up just because, I love the old games, but they've added like the map creator, which is really interesting. Like you can like just grab parts of like your ramps and drag them, and it just shapes them to the way you want. It's got like an online versus mode, which is pretty cool. It's got some of the tricks that weren't in Tony Hawk, but were in Tony Hawk 2. They just put them into one. So across the board, your stuff's the same. So that is a game I'm looking forward to playing. So if somebody's playing that, let me know what you're thinking about that game and other games in the comments below. So we are a little late on this, but we should talk about it. The Xbox Series S was officially confirmed after like a month of just straight leaks, to the point where every time they leaked something about it, Xbox would tweet like 2 eyes looking around. So like they were just kind of in on it. So that thing did not get a proper reveal, but it has been officially confirmed. I believe it's gonna be like $300. So we're gonna watch a video comparing it to the Xbox Series X, talking about price points, talking about size, stuff like that. We're gonna have a discussion on which one would be preferable to us. Is this a good move for them? Stuff like that. So before we watch that video, do you guys have anything you want to say before we educate ourselves? I'm pretty educated on it, but I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
I'll say I don't know how much more I'm going to get out of this. Obviously, hopefully, I get something out of it. But I mean, I pretty much have an opinion already. So hopefully, the video can give me something to maybe not necessarily change, but either solidify or maybe go a certain way or something like that. So.
Anything, Chris?
I've seen the new Xbox, and I've seen the price point, but that's about all I know. So
Saw the boom
more
box.
information would be nice. Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Microsoft has said the Xbox Series S is going to be $299 and the Xbox Series X is going to be $499. So what's the difference besides $200? I'm going to break down what each console has and tell you which one I think I should buy.
Tell me which one I should buy. Just tell me.
Now, Microsoft has said both of these systems are going to launch November 10th, and they're both named Xbox. That's about where the biggest similarities end. They're actually very different, and that surprised me looking back at, let's say, the Xbox One versus the One X. They share, a physical quality. One of those bigger than the
Apparently
other.
the Series S is the
but they're
smallest
not radically
Xbox that's
different.
existed.
Same thing can be said for the PlayStation 4.
I mean, that is kind of
and
weird
the
for
PlayStation 4
Microsoft.
Pro, and
They
even
make
going back a
huge
Huge
consoles.
consoles, yep.
Yeah.
PlayStation 3 and
Yeah.
Xbox 360, the variant versions of these systems did not feel that terribly different, even if they were, let's say, a little bit bigger or smaller or had some extra features. In this case, the Xbox Series S looks much different than the Xbox Series X. It's much smaller. Microsoft says it's 60% smaller than the X, and the X, frankly, looks huge. I think that's a big plus because, number one, it forces you to remove some of the extraneous things you don't really need, like the optical drive. I know some people love optical drives in consoles. People love optical drives in laptops. I hear from these people whenever we talk about how thin a laptop is, and they write in and they say, but it doesn't have an optical drive. We're not living in that world anymore. The concept, even for games... Of
Luckily, you can buy an external
big
optical
game,
drive for
burning
any
it on a
PC or
disc, putting the disc
laptop,
in a
though,
box
so...
in
Yeah.
another plastic
Yeah.
box, putting it
And
on
the
a
only
truck
reason we're not
drive,
living in
and
that
just
world
putting
is
it on
because
the
the industry doesn't want us
It's a
to.
lot less efficient
Yeah.
than offering downloads. But the Series S basically sets itself up as a future streaming game machine, even if that's not going to be what it's all about at launch.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to
xCloud is
me.
certainly going to be a big part
That's the stream
of
box.
that console generation launch, and you'll probably look for it to be even bigger in the future. But that Series S, no optical drive, relatively small hard drive. I'm sure you'll be able to augment it. They'll either have a higher capacity version or you can buy external hard drives just like people do for consoles today. And the other really big difference is both of these are really built on the same architecture. There's not a huge amount of daylight between them, but they're optimized for different outputs. So the Xbox Series X promises 4K output to go with your 4K TV and 60 frames per second on at least a lot of games, maybe even more on some very competitive multiplayer games. Meanwhile, the Xbox Series S is optimized for maybe the TCL with the Vizio TV you had from a couple years ago. Maybe it's full HD, 1920 by 1080, not full 4K. So it's going to be pushing games at that lower resolution.
Which surprisingly is still very common. I mean, the amount of people who don't have... We're in a weird time where 4K still isn't just like the standard, and we're already moving into like 8K.
Tech's moving faster than people can afford.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Just passing along a video, and even a little tiny Roku stick can do 4K streaming video, so that's not that challenging. And of course, the other big difference you're going to see between the Series S and the Series X hardware is storage. 512 gigabytes on the Series S and a terabyte, I believe.
So you could install Modern Warfare and have room for like one more game on the Series S.
Even a couple of months or something,
Is that even true anymore? Every time they release an update, it's like 100 fucking gigs.
That's what I'm saying.
Frankly, after 4 or 5 games, it starts to get a little crowded. You got to start deleting stuff and re-downloading it later if you want to play a game again.
Unless you're
like
streaming.
previous generations, I suspect that it's going to be pretty easy to hook up external storage to both versions of this. So Microsoft has announced that one of these versions is going to be $299, the other one's going to be $499. We have some of the specs, but not all, so we can come to some educated conclusions about what the actual differences are, the $200 differences between these two consoles, and they seem to so far boil down to, obviously, price, $299 versus $499. One of them outputs at 4K for games. The other one is going to have lower output resolution, even though they're built on the same architecture and will be able to play the same games. And of course, storage, one of them will have more built-in storage than the other. And as game sizes continue to go up, that's actually going to be important and something people will notice more once you try to get Microsoft Flight Simulator and it says you need 123 gigabytes of free space to download this. And you start juggling around stuff on your hard drive and deleting stuff just so you can fly over your neighborhood in a Cessna. So I know that when we heard about the $299 price for the Series S and the more expensive price for the Series X, a lot of the people in my office got together on Slack, and we all thought the S, frankly, sounded like a pretty good deal. Usually if you're upgrading something and you take the storage from 256 to 512 or from 512 to a terabyte, you bump it up by $100. That's what Apple does when you buy a MacBook. You add a little more storage, $100. All right, I understand that. And then the output, the additional processing GPU power needed. And
Why are they showing everything through the fucking speaker?
4K output.
It is-
No, that's weird.
It is a speaker. That's a straight up fucking speaker. I know they say it's not, but it is.
this year,
It's like a Tesla. It's a secret mode. You got to fucking turn it on.
Version, or are they going to be looking to say, you know what, it's been kind of a rough year, maybe I'll just get the $2.99 version, and that's going to look fine on my TV, which frankly it probably will. That's a question that I think a lot of people are going to ask themselves if there are even enough of these consoles for people to go out and buy. We still don't know what the supply situation is going to look like. And of course, there's another X factor in there, and that is the PlayStation 5. There's already
P factor.
2 versions of that we know of.
PP factor, yes.
5, and then an
The old
all-digital
PP factor.
version that, again, very smartly, if you ask me, takes out that optical drive. And I know people love optical drives, but you know we're past that era now. There's a lot of benefits. Now, you know me, I've reviewed high-end computers and laptops and other things for many, many, many years now. I would be hard-pressed to say that I don't want to get the biggest, most expensive, coolest version of something. That said, looking at the specs yesterday, I kind of like this $299 Xbox Series X. We're going to have to see what PlayStation does with their pricing. I don't think they want to go above where the high-end Series X is. Are they going
it's
to have
gonna be
some room to
$500.
play at the lower end? Well, a couple of leaked tweets and a couple of confirming tweets from Sony, and then we'll probably know all those answers too. And we'll be back here talking to you about them again.
All right.
Little tiny Roku stick.
What do we think about the prospect of the 2 consoles coexisting? The different price points. You have $500 and $300. The design. What do you think about the way the S looks? Which one do you prefer? Which one do you think has the best value, bang for its buck? And which one really kind of calls to you more than the other one?
Well, okay. I think that, I mean, it's at launch this time, which is a little different, but it's pretty typical Microsoft to do this in the long term. Usually they're just doing it right off the bat, which I think is very smart. I also think price of entry to next gen, specifically stuff like ray tracing and stuff like that, at $300 is a steal. I mean, $500 is, we used to be able to say a steal, but NVIDIA is showing that they can do it really cheap now. So $300 I think is great. There's a large amount of people that's a comfortable price point. They're not being left behind. And if you don't have the 4K TV, even at a 1440 resolution, it's still going to make your 1080p look better. So like it is just a good box to have for that. I'm an optical drive guy, so regardless of Mr. CNET here and his apparent disdain for optical drives.
We're past that now.
I am the type of person who likes
We're living in the future.
more options, just period. Give me more ability to do the things I want to do. Not
Well,
less.
in the sense of the Xbox has fucking backwards compatibility as well, but like the PS5 is going to play PS4 games. Have physical PS4 games over there.
Yeah.
So I mean, they will be obsolete if I except for if I want to have my PS4 hooked up. But you know, with the PS5, and we're talking about the Xbox, of course. But I'm going to buy the optical drive one.
Yeah.
It's going to be more.
Well,
but
and that's kind of the whole point. Is like I was trying to bring. It's not that there isn't an audience who doesn't give a crap about disc. I know a lot of people who buy their games just purely digital at this point. I'm not there. I do buy a blend of both depending on the circumstance. If it's an online only game, I have no reason to buy a disc.
Yeah.
Because I can't play it anyways.
Right.
But if my ISP decides to shut my internet off without talking to me about it first, and I still want to be able to play a video game, offline games and a disc kind of give me that ability. So,
oh, dude, every once in a while, if the internet goes out or whatever, I'm like, what do I do now? I'm like, oh yeah, I still own Blu-rays and I still own fucking
There's still some physical
games that
media.
aren't online only and shit. So yeah,
and not to go like on a tangent for that forever.
Yeah.
That's just a point for me as a consumer. It makes the S less attractive, but the price is a good counter to that, I think.
$200 off.
I have a problem with both. And I have a feeling the same problem with PlayStation 5, guarantee it. I think we're in a place right now where even a terabyte is not enough storage to have. I mean, that should be like bare minimum. I have 2 terabytes on my computer. I have almost a terabyte filled up. I almost have nothing installed. Like,
Yeah, I have 8 on my computer and 6 on my PS4.
yeah, it fills up fast. Like, games are huge now, and they're only going to get bigger.
Yep.
So I'm kind of disappointed to see that. But obviously, to use his words, we can augment them. Dorky. And externals are a thing, obviously. So I mean, there's ways around that. I just hate the idea of having to like use up a USB port to use an external hard drive, or have to get into the thing to put another hard drive in. Yes, these are really minimal problems, but it's still things I don't want to have to do.
Well, and they're going to sell you those little memory cards.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to plug in the back.
For the people who don't want to do that stuff, for sure.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. I want to make money sort of way. As far as the appearances go, they're boxes, and they both have a grade on them. I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion one way or another. They look like PCs to me.
You don't think one or the other looks better than the other one?
No, they're both squares.
You don't think that big fucking circle on the side of that thing's annoying?
No.
Okay, because that's the one thing I see everybody bitching about.
I also don't hate the two-tone on the PlayStation 5, though. So.
Yeah, but the two-tone on the PlayStation 5 is like design. That's just a big fucking fan vent.
Well, it's also something that everyone bitched about, though. So I mean, like, I don't know. The visual factor at this point, if I had the ability to customize it, I would choose differently, but I don't. That's the product. So I don't have like a hard feeling about it. At the end of the day, it just needs to do what I need to do. My biggest problem has nothing to do with the Xbox as well. I think it's a great price point for people who are trying to get into gaming, especially if you can't afford to put the money into a PC. But I do have a PC. These are completely obsolete in every way for me. I can use an Xbox controller on my PC if I really prefer the controller. All those games are available to me with the Xbox app on Windows 10. They have not shown me otherwise. So I wish I could be excited, but they're not giving me a reason to. Mm-hmm. But I am happy for the price point of entry for people to get into this gen, especially at $300.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's actually something anybody that knows me knows. I'm not going to have an issue convincing myself to buy some new tech. And so, like, I've been saying for a while now, I'm ready to buy this in the PS5 day one. And I've still been able to convince myself that I was on the same track with Xbox as I was on PS5. And this has nothing to do with which one I prefer as like a fan. It is becoming more and more apparent that these are now, and I know somebody's going to get upset with me, but it's the best way I can put it. These are glorified Rokus, in my opinion, because they're going to offer you everything you can do on your PC. Now, if you don't have the powerful PC, buy the Xbox. If you love the Xbox, buy the Xbox.
For sure.
But if your argument's the controller, you can use the controller anywhere. And if you want to use it on the Xbox, buy it and use it on the Xbox. I'm not telling anybody you're making the wrong decision. I'm just saying for me personally, as a person who owns a decent PC that can play everything, Xbox has put a shitload of value into Game Pass. They just recently did a partnership with EA, doing EA Play. All their games are coming to Game Pass. That's fucking huge. So anybody who's listening right now, like, oh, he's talking shit about Xbox. No, I'm not. Game Pass is fucking a really stupid deal. And I mean stupid in the best way possible. It's fucking ridiculous. It's cheap. You fucking get all the Xbox games. You're getting a bunch of EA games now. You're going to be getting the streaming with that just tacked on, no extra fucking price. I mean, it's an insane fucking deal. And Xbox is giving you those options. They're letting you, like, hey, if you want to play it on fucking console, you can do it on console. If you want to play it on PC, you can play on PC. If they were allowed to, it'd be on your PS5 and it'd be on the fucking Switch Plus, whatever the hell's coming out soon.
It will be on your phone.
It will be on your phone. Like, Xbox has just really kind of, these consoles exist as just one of many gateways that Xbox is wanting you to have to access Game Pass. Game Pass is their future, I think, when it comes to the Xbox brand. And it's not good or bad. I think Game Pass is great, and I've been saying it for fucking ever. What Google Stadia wanted to do, Xbox will do, because they've been in the game longer. They're playing it smarter. And they have the infrastructure, and they've been taking their time to get there. And they're implementing it in a way to be comfortable for people who are already at home on Xbox. Makes sense. Google Stadia showed up and we're like, we're Google. Use our streaming shit. I'm not too interested in streaming, and I don't like Google. It's great. I'll just play my games traditionally. We'll give it to you for free. No, I'm good. I don't want it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that aside, it is becoming harder for me personally, not out of distaste of the console, it is becoming harder for me to justify the idea of buying these, either of them, which sucks. For me, it sucks. Not that the consoles suck. I'm trying to be clear on that because I know people are going to hear the shit. I'm on Twitter all the time. You say anything, people interpret it and get upset. But again, $300 fucking dollars, and you're getting next gen.
Yep.
You're moving into next gen for $300 fucking dollars. That is crazy, and this makes me question how Xbox is going to do in next gen compared to PlayStation. I don't think they're going to offer a $300 model of the PS5.
No, I fully expect the 400 and 500 at this point.
I don't think you're getting a $300 PS5. So that's huge.
Unless Sony wants to take the hit, which we'll see, obviously. So.
Yeah, but Sony can also decide not to take the hit because they in my opinion, I think most people would agree, in sales, in public reception, I feel like if you care about that kind of thing, they fucking dominated this gen. Mm-hmm. So they get to ride into the next gen lazier if they want to be. Just like if you make a great movie, you get to make whatever the fuck you want next. You make a great game, you get
like the Wii.
Yeah, you get to exactly, or the Wii U, and then they stop fucking supporting it and all that shit. Like they just kind of got to ride free for a while, like whatever, and then people start bitching like, oh fuck, we gotta fix this. PS5 can do that now. I don't know if they're gonna. I'm just saying they can. Yeah. Xbox is showing up though. They got fucking 2 consoles. They got a fucking powerful ass console, and then they got the Series S, which is an insane price point, and then you have Game Pass, which is a crazy fucking deal that they're giving you access to. So. There's a huge demographic here of people who this appeals to. Mm-hmm. Just sadly, they're the route they're going with the consoles is starting to alienate me as a consumer, but not Game Pass. So they're still going to get my money in some capacity. I just don't know if I'm going to buy the console. Yeah. Which kind of sucks because I love consoles. Like, give me an excuse, I'll fucking buy your console. But these are essentially lesser computers of my computer. And now with fucking NVIDIA coming out, just completely changing everything that we thought we knew about graphics and price points to a degree I haven't seen in like fucking at least 10 years. It's such a huge jump that we have next gen consoles coming out, and NVIDIA came out and went, next gen consoles are pretty much obsolete when it comes to tech and power.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Not to be confused with like the fact that games will still be designed to work on console and PC.
Yeah.
So
PC's always sitting around waiting to see what console does.
Yeah.
Because they want the games that are on console
they gotta
to be
sell
on
it on
PC.
everything,
Exactly.
so, yeah.
And so they're making a PC game they're going to put on console. They got to make it fucking work on there as well. So, but the fucking 390 or 3090.
Even the 3070.
Sure, but I'm just saying the 3090, the pinnacle of what they showed off for the price point of being like $1,200, whatever the hell. Yeah. I think it's like 1,200.
1,200, yeah.
It's
like that, yeah.
It's crazy powerful. It literally just made my fucking 2080 like it just depreciated my video card instantly. And so I was like, holy shit. And it's great. It plays everything. But that came out, I'm like, whoa, they just jumped real far, and the price points are so low that they comfortably jumped far. It's crazy. Anyway, don't want to get on that too much. Just kind of the whole ecosystem right now in gaming is kind of crazy. But yeah, 300 price point. This is the thing. I'm telling myself, I don't know if I'm going to buy an Xbox. I don't know if I need to. I'm going to be able to play the Xbox games that are going to be really fun on my PC. Yep. Great. But if I was going to buy an Xbox, I am starting to shift now, and I'm the guy who wants to buy the biggest and the best thing. But I kind of am looking at the Series S. It'd be kind of nice to just have like that smaller console that's going to be able to stream all their stuff through xCloud. It's a powerful console. It's more powerful than any of the consoles out right now. If I was going to buy one, I'd probably go for that one. If I'm going to essentially buy a lesser PC of what I have already, I might as well get the cheaper one because I already have the fucking Xbox Series X Plus right now. So it wouldn't make sense to buy a second one. So yeah, I think there's a lot of value there, but I also think that, for the people out there who are not into PC, they don't want to buy a PC. They don't want to invest in all the stuff. They don't want to, maybe they're not interested in PC, but they want like the biggest and most powerful thing that can run everything at the, highest fucking frame rates, all that shit. Xbox Series X is there. It's definitely enticing. So yeah, overall, I think Xbox is offering up some really good avenues for people to take in any direction they want to go when it comes to playing their games. And I think it's a really smart move. I think they are playing it safe, very safe, this next gen. They kind of didn't at the beginning of last gen, or this current gen we're in, because it came out with some big ideas that people weren't ready for. This time around, they're coming out going like, look, these are just Xbox. They're Xbox. They're called Xbox. These are just an extension of the Xbox that already exists, just more powerful.
The family just grew.
Exactly. And now you have a fucking gnarly powerful one, and you got a great next gen one for a great price. And it's a smart tactic. They're gonna sell. They're gonna sell really well. I think the Series X is gonna sell way better than the Series X,
especially in holiday time.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have like kids or whatever, and they just want to play video games, you're not gonna be like, well, let's get little Johnny the Series X. He needs that power. We're just gonna go, let's get him the Series S. It's $300.
Sadly, the price of the Series S is more than some of the TVs, so
yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
So yeah, I think the Series S is really kind of impressive to me, what they're able to do with it. It is the lesser console, but it's still stronger than the consoles we have now.
It's also much better than their like original attempt at this whole idea when they did the Xbox Arcade Edition or whatever. That was complete garbage.
Yeah, that was an experiment. But I know people who bought it.
Sure.
I know people who bought it and were angry because they don't know how to read.
Those were uneducated purchases, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in the regards of like the value of what them offering the second console, they've definitely gotten better at that value game. Even with this last gen, the I guess it was the S as well, was a much better value, like for what you were spending in comparison. So this is just taking that to another level, though.
Yeah. When it comes to design, I think the Series X looks like a fucking tower, for a PC tower. It's a box. I think it looks fine. I'm not like, oh my god, it's so cool looking, but I don't mind the look either. I've seen it on side and standing up straight, and I think standing up straight looks way better. On the side looks weird. It looks like a fucking cargo fucking freight fucking thing. But the Series S, I think looks clean. I think it looks a lot like their current. They all look like the same family of the consoles that are out now, which I think is kind of interesting. The Series X definitely is like fucking he-hunk, fucking hulking around. But the Series S looks right at home with the other consoles. That circular vent, first off, is fucking gigantic.
It's not going to overheat.
Yeah, it's big. And if you look at the Series X, it's got a big fucking vent at the top too. But I think the design looks better though. That impression there and stuff.
Well, they're designing a premium console there.
Yeah, and the Series S, my only thing is, if that's just to vent, why not just keep the fucking see at the top where there's vent holes? Mm-hmm. Why not just do that on the side in a circular fashion, or make it white? Some people aren't going to care. Some people aren't going to care about the contrast. I just think it's a big. Okay, so the new Note, Samsung Note fucking 20 or whatever, it's got a big fucking chunk on it of where the camera's at, and it's because they actually put a legitimate 7-lens fucking camera system in there that's set up like a periscope to fit out there. They had to have the room to make that, and they just went, fuck it, we're going to own it. We're just going to put that chunk there. And including myself, everyone I've heard talk about it goes, it's a big chunk. It's there. It's like a shelf, but it looks kind of cool. They kind of just owned it, and they're like, fuck yeah, this is what you need to have a great camera on your fucking phone. And so I feel like they tried to do the same thing with the Series S. I don't think they implemented it just as well. It looks like they just went, well, we need the vent.
I think there's a huge missed opportunity there that, this isn't my idea. I saw this online. Someone else came up with this, but they could have put a white curved X in there and just made it the Xbox symbol.
Yeah, maybe.
It would have looked better.
Or the spherical Xbox symbol that they always have.
Yeah, this one.
They could just put it, right there. Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it seems like they did the same thing where they're like, we're just going to own it. We got to have the vent. We can't get rid of it. Okay, we got to have it, so fucking throw it on there. What do we do? Keep it white or black? Well, let's just throw black on there to make it contrast. You make it pop. You'll notice it. And I feel like that's probably something similar to what they probably thought when they did it. But I do think it is kind of, I don't know, maybe it feels down to the center or something. I don't know, something about it, its position and how big it is. I get it needs to be there, but I think there's better ways they could have done it. But who the fuck am I? I don't make Xboxes. I don't engineer those. But overall, otherwise, I think it's really sleek, really small. I think it looks good vertical. I think it looks better on its side. I think the opposite of the Xbox Series X. And the price point's awesome. It's awesome. The 512 gigabytes, though, holy shit.
Oof.
We're, in the words of CNET Dork, we're past that. We're not in those times anymore. If he said that there, I would have agreed with him. Yeah. I think 1 terabyte minimum is probably where we should be starting, and then moving up from there. 512 gigabytes. If you don't play games very often, great. But like,
if you play a game,
if you only play Warzone, half your fucking storage is used up with that installed.
You're buying a game or two a month. That thing's full like overnight.
But that just leads to the whole assumption that is a stream box. Once they get xCloud out and running and perfect and it's running awesome and shit, that thing's going to fucking connect to the internet just fine, play all those fucking games just fine. And as they make xCloud even better and better and better, you're going to be able to play the same shit on that the Xbox Series X can play.
Well, right, because the power become irrelevant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that will have enough power to get, to be able to load all the stuff it needs and, connect to the internet.
Yep.
So that's literally like, that's another reason why in my brain I'm like looking at the future of Xbox. I'm like, I don't even know why I personally would even buy that Series X, because eventually that Series S is that Series X. I was also thinking about like with Nvidia's giant fucking jump in video cards, these guys are going to all have to come out with Pro models in like 3 years.
Probably.
And specifically PS5. But then I retroactively go back and I'm like, Xbox doesn't though.
Yeah.
Because they can just do xCloud.
Cloud-based stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So unless PlayStation 5 does the same thing, which they will. They have PS Now.
Right.
But I feel like Xbox...
They'd have to invest a lot more into it, but for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think Xbox is just kind of introducing these. It's smart. I think it's safe. It's safe. There's nothing big and fucking flashy and crazy about it. But they're just releasing fucking 2 consoles, next gen, do what they need to do. They're ready for the future, and they got the controllers that just you're used to, and you like the ergonomics of them and stuff. And I think the name of the game this next gen with Xbox as the consoles is play it safe, offer people ways to play games.
It's just access.
Yeah, 100%. Now, when it comes to Game Pass, that's where they're getting ambitious.
Yeah.
So. Chris.
Visually, I actually like the S a lot better than the X.
Okay.
The X just looks like a big fridge that I would put. I don't know where I would put it. I'm thinking of space personally. I don't have a lot of space left to put things. So the S is more appealing to me because it's more compact. It's easier for me to figure out where I would put it.
There's one thing you're forgetting, though. So you look at the top of the Xbox Series X and it curves in. That's actually where your ass goes. So you put it, it's like you take your old fucking computer chair out and you throw it out, and you bring in the Xbox Series X right there. Boom, you sit on
it. Listen. I know it's been a while since we've seen each other in person, but I'm gonna need 2 of those to sit on just to be support me because I got a lot of ass.
They want that $1,000 from you. Double up on that Series X fucking seat. 1 for each cheek.
That being said, though, it does feel like the S is the console you buy for your kids, and the X is the one you buy for mom and dad. Like, I want a game, the kids want a game. Well, they can have the S console. I'm going to get the big boy X console. If you are even going to buy these consoles, I agree with you guys. Though I feel like I don't really need to buy one because I have a decent enough PC that I'm just like, okay, well, I have a Game Pass. I don't really need to buy these. And it feels really ass backwards to have the one that has no optical drive have 512 gigabytes on it, and then the one that has optical drive have a terabyte. Like, if anything, you would think that the one that would be more geared towards downloads and just online play would have the bigger hard drive to start out with. It just seems really stupid at face value to me. And if what the guy says, I don't know pricing of external hard drives, but if he said it's like $100 to buy another external hard drive, why would I want to do that if I can have it all in one big system already?
No. He was saying that companies charge $100 more for their product when they add another.
Gotcha.
Like phones.
Gotcha.
Like that, yeah.
It's just a pricing model for business.
It's just still more things I have to buy to play more than a game on a console, and that's just not something I'm looking for. I want to be able to play at least 3 games without having to uninstall, reinstall, make space, delete space, configure my hard drive, redo this, go back again. Oh, I can install this. Oh, but there's updates now. I can still only install this game.
But in a year from now, when you're just streaming on xCloud, you don't even have to do that. Especially if you're somebody who doesn't care about owning games.
That's a problem for a year from now, Chris. That's not a problem for now, Chris.
That's fair. Yeah, and the storage thing, I think they both need to be 1 terabyte, because even if you are putting a physical disc in there, games nowadays install like half the disc's info on your console anyway. Yeah, and then it's just playing certain things off the disc. It's very minimal nowadays. You're essentially just like PCs back in the day, putting a disc in to install the game.
It literally just goes, yeah, you own it, okay, and then that's it. Right. It just does that check.
But it's funny because we already talked about this a little bit, but like the Xbox 360 arcade that came out, that thing was meant for digital downloads. They're like, yeah, you're just going to download all these Xbox Live games anyway. It's fine. Like, then it had like no fucking storage on it.
Nothing.
Yeah. And I'm like, so you're going to download like Castle Crashers or
Sudoku,
like all these like real small fucking games. Like it was not a. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to do what they're doing now, but they didn't nail it then. So
yeah,
I it just seems like I would want more storage space on the digital one, the one without the optical drive, because I'm one of those people who likes, even if there is a streaming service, I still want to download a few games here and there to have them on the system in case the service for internet goes out or their systems crash. You know, I want to be able to still use my console without having to rely upon this perfectly set up internet connection that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, and that's one reason I'll never be like 100% streaming, because those instances do happen where like you don't have connection anymore to the servers, or what if for some reason, specifically in the future we're heading into, where fucking people are really controlling what's happening on the internet and stuff like that? What if you get banned from a game or something like that? Maybe you cheated, but maybe you didn't, like, or some kind of banning happens. Like, you want to be able to still play those games offline. I'm getting a little conspiratorial here, but yeah. Anyway, there's more to it, but I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, I still want to have access to things
mommy and daddy say
offline.
no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, owning things, or at least having them downloaded. For instance, like PT. I have PT on my fucking PS4. I had it on my original PS4. I had to transfer it over to my my PS5. I don't have one. I wish I did. My PS4 Pro. But like the download for that disappeared. Just gone. So I'm glad, like, you know, I just downloaded it and I have it. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going off on different things.
Any more?
No, I think the price points are great for people looking to get into the systems in this great generation, like you said.
The hot topic. What's your opinion on that vent on the side of the Series S?
I think it looks fine. I don't see what the issue is.
People were fucking angry about it.
Well, people get angry about anything these days. Yeah. I think it looks fine. It was a design choice. They owned it. You know, the system needs a venting spot. Where else are you going to put it? On the top?
That is.
Ain't no room on top.
The top.
I meant like the little tiny top.
It has two tops.
Ain't gonna fit.
It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tops. However you want to put that thing.
You better not be putting that thing face down.
Yeah, what if you put the USB on the front and the symbol is down, and then you just have the plugins just at the top?
I'm just gonna go and say you're a fucking idiot then.
Or maybe very smart.
I don't think so.
Maybe those guys who are like, oh, my 360 fucking red ringed. I'm gonna, how do I fix this? Oh, I'll wrap it in a blanket and throw it in an oven and bake it.
With pennies inside of it.
Yeah, with pennies inside it. And then it works. And everybody's like, oh, I heard you can do all this crazy shit. And it works. Maybe it's that genius. Maybe he's so fucking crazy. So stupidly crazy that he's a genius.
I don't think so.
Time will tell. Idiots. Time will tell. Anything else for anybody? Anybody got any other thoughts?
Just curious to see, now that we have prices on these, what Sony's response is going to be. Because unless they decide to also put all my games on PC, is the only console I can see myself buying at this point. Once again, I'm not saying that as a knock towards these. I have emphasized the value you're getting with these if you don't already have the PC. Even at $500, the price of the tech in there, you're getting a deal. So,
Yep.
Agreed. Let us know in the comments, what do you guys think about the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X? What do you think about those price points? What do you think about those specs? What do you think about the storage? What do you think about the designs? Are you one of those people who hates the vent on the side? Are you like me? You're like, yeah, could have been better, but I don't give a fuck that much. Or do you hate it? Do you love it? What do you think about the Xbox Series X design? We've talked about that before, but maybe you're new here and you're like, I haven't said my opinion yet. I want to hear it.
I also can't fit my ass on top of that.
Somebody can.
Yeah.
Somebody will. Especially now that I've said it, someone's going to go, oh, I'm just going to fucking try it out. And yeah, what do you think about the strategy for Xbox moving forward, having the two consoles coming out at the same time, completely different price points, $300 versus $500? Which one do you think is more appealing to you, even if you're not going to buy it? Which one do you think is the better deal? Which one makes more sense to you? If you are going to buy it, which one are you more excited to buy? Are you going for the big, fucking powerful one? Are you going for the next-gen console at a great price point that's going to be able to fucking be ready for streaming when that becomes a standard? And let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. So we're moving on into another reaction where recently there was the Ubisoft Forward event that happened. It was a live stream. It happened a couple days ago. And I don't think any of us watched it.
Nope. Barely knew it happened.
Unless Chris watched it.
Quiet on Twitter.
Low key. Yeah, I only heard people complaining about it. This year's like the live stream events that people hate year.
Sony's was good.
Sony's was great. It was awesome. But yeah, and Chris, you haven't seen this?
Nope.
Yeah, and I haven't really followed any of the announcements because I intended to do this reaction, so I'm kind of going in blind. I know that that Gods and Monsters game got renamed to something Phoenix something, and it's like almost like I don't know. We'll find out. But they've changed that. That's going to be in this. I haven't really heard a whole lot of other things about it, so this will be interesting to go into. Although I'm hoping it's nothing like that. What was the last one we watched?
Gamescom.
Yeah, that one was fucking rough. Like really rough. So hopefully something like that. Luckily, this video is only like 45 minutes long. All right, before we hop into this, is there anything you guys want to say? Anything you're excited for? Anything you're hoping to see?
I don't even know what to expect, to be honest. So, Just Dance?
Splinter Cell, but we're not going to get it
Not
because
happening.
that would have been all over Twitter. So
I expect to see their mobile game that has Sam in it, though.
yeah, they put him in everything else, but his own game. I'd also like to see Beyond Good and Evil 2, but I don't think we're going to see that either. It's everything I want to see from them. I don't think we're going to see.
They're going to be like, Rainbow Six is coming to next gen with a free update.
Yeah, probably. Pretty much all these announcements lately are just like, that game you're playing right now, you're going to be able to play it on next gen. I'm like, that's good. I don't know if we needed a whole video for that.
We don't make new games anymore.
Yeah.
We're 5-second trailer of a concept we have for a game. We're going to talk about it for 45 minutes about how we have heart and hope for our company.
Heart and hope for country.
This is Ubisoft. There will be a speech somewhere, I'm sure.
Probably. I think they addressed some of the sexual harassment that happened. I didn't really follow that too much. But
I didn't either.
There was a bunch of people complaining that there was like in the workplace people who were being dickheads and doing stupid shit, and they all got fired. So
Bad people being bad.
Yeah, so that's good. They're gone, but I'm sure we're gonna hear about it, which is fine. All right, Chris, you ready?
Yes.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Oh.
Well,
Bam.
that's what the timestamp said. I think this is that Gods and Monsters game.
Yeah.
There's the burp.
Scree.
I'll be 100% honest. This game may be amazing. I don't know. I don't like the art style.
I don't like the art style either.
I think it looks like a mobile game almost, like a commercial for a
It
mobile
does.
game.
Play gods and monsters now.
It's kind of sad, like going for like a more like cartoony look really only has like two results. It either ends up looking like super cool and artsy, or it ends up looking like a mobile game.
Yeah.
So
Well, if you're going to be cartoony, like have like some kind of interesting art style to it. This looks like it's all realistic looking, but cartoony.
yeah,
Nothing's exaggerated really in its shapes. It's just, you know, super vibrant and everything's very circular.
I think the vibrancy is part of the problem with it.
Yeah.
There's too much crazy neon colors for me. And I like vibrant things. I really like vibrant things. But so far, it just seems a little like weird, like overly saturated vibrancy.
again though, like you said, gameplay wise, it could be awesome.
Yeah.
So
Right. I know I say this a lot, but this looks like it could be Fortnite, like a skin for Fortnite.
it's that vibrancy.
This looks like a game that probably would have came out on like Xbox or Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So Immortals Phoenix Rising. That is the new name.
He spells Phoenix wrong.
My name is Scott Phillips, and I'm the game director on
up,
Immortals
Scott?
Phoenix Rising. I hope you enjoyed our reveal video. I'm sure you noticed a lot of new things since we first teased the game, including a new name. Extra production time has allowed us to expand our vision and explore new opportunities beyond our initial plan. We felt the name Immortals Phoenix Rising better reflected this new experience. Today, we're incredibly excited to give you the first in-depth look at our world, hero, and gameplay. Let's dive in.
I think the world looks good.
The
Immortals
game
Phoenix
weird.
looks better
Rising
than the
is a
fucking video we
third-person,
watched.
open-world
The game
action-adventure
does, the art style fits
set
really
in
well
a
for what these
fantastical
in-game shots
landscape
are, but like the
of Greek mythology.
cinematics just didn't work for me. It's really weird.
You'll play
Yeah.
as Phoenix, a Greek warrior
Well, I don't know how
shipwrecked
to
on the mysterious
Word
Golden
this
Isle.
well, but the
Upon your
character
arrival,
almost
you'll meet
seems like they
Hermes,
don't belong.
one of the few remaining gods
Yeah.
of Olympus.
Out of place.
Hermes has heard of a prophecy that only you can save the Greek gods and reclaim their realm from Typhon, the deadliest titan in mythology. This entire epic story will be narrated by the titan Prometheus and Zeus, the king of the gods, adding a unique commentary and perspective to this legendary tale. Before embarking on this perilous journey, you'll get to create your own Phoenix.
Alright, so you get to make your own character.
That's
And
cool.
as you progress, you'll find even more opportunities to customize your character by discovering legendary weapons, unique pieces of gear and cosmetics, and earning the gods' blessings and mythical abilities that can turn the tide of battle.
I'm getting like Dauntless mixed
You'll
with God
need
of War
all the help
vibes.
you can get to save
Yeah.
the gods and defeat
I can see
Typhon
that, for
once
sure.
and for all. On your journey to save the gods, you'll grow stronger and achieve new, incredible things, like gliding with the wings of Daedalus, to jump higher, fight while airborne, and glide freely in the open world. Facing off against dangerous mythical beasts like the giant cyclopses, flying harpies, and huge multi-armed hecatoncheires. Harnessing the power of the gods to master a tactical and fast-paced, over-the-top combat system, and solving puzzles and challenges scattered throughout the world to help improve your powers. You'll also get to explore an epic, vibrant, and stylized open world filled with secrets, puzzles, and stories rooted in Greek mythology. Once a peaceful home to the gods of Olympus, the Golden Isle is now overrun by creatures of the underworld. To stand a chance against Typhon and his minions, you'll need to explore this mysterious land and become a mythical hero yourself. The world is divided in multiple regions, all ruled by a different god in need of your help. From the lush landscapes of Aphrodite's plains to the mechanical world of Hephaestos' forge, each region is packed with challenging battles ancient puzzles, and secrets
I've been
to
saying this a
uncover.
lot lately. Just like there's been like 4 fucking games.
You'll have the freedom to
Where I'm just, like,
explore this
looking at 'em and I'm
entire
like,
open world as you wish,
It's just not
right
doing
from the
anything
beginning
for
of
me.
your journey.
That's not even like negative. Like I'm not looking at this going like it looks bad.
Finally,
I'm just like
stay
looking
with
at it
us
like
for the
I don't know if I
post-show,
would play
where you'll
this.
get a look at new gameplay.
Yeah, it's kind of where I'm pulling mentally too, because I think like the world.
I hope
like
you
said
enjoyed
earlier,
what you
I
saw
think the
today.
world looks
We
good.
can't wait for you to
I
play
think,
Immortals
like, even
Phoenix
the combat,
Rising.
like, looks fun
There's a
enough
lot
and,
more to
like,
show before
and it could
launch,
just be a
so
fun
keep an
game
eye out for
in
further
that regard,
updates.
but
See you all on December 3rd.
for some reason, I'm also not really.
I'm
feeling
so
drawn
excited
to
to play this game. It's a
don't know.
world I just can't wait to explore. Hi, I'm Phil Harrison. We're looking forward to Immortals Phoenix Rising coming to Stadia on December 3rd. We're also excited
got a
to
rough
announce
job, dude.
that all Stadia players will get a chance to try Immortals Phoenix Rising with
Please
a
use
free
Stadia.
playable demo before launch that is exclusive to Stadia. All you'll need is a Gmail account. With just a single click, you'll be able to add the demo to your Stadia library and instantly join Phoenix on her quest to save the Greek gods. Created specifically for this Stadia demo, Ubisoft have developed an entirely unique island for you to experience. We hope you'll love it. The exclusive Stadia demo of Immortals Phoenix Rising will be playable later this year in all regions where Stadia is accessible. Thank you to Yves Guillemot and the entire Ubisoft Quebec studio for your partnership in bringing amazing experiences to Stadia.
The use of Zeus and Prometheus as the narrators in Immortals Phoenix Rising led to a unique style of storytelling.
Here's Michelle Plord to tell us more.
My name is Michelle Plord. I'm lead cinematic designer on Immortals Phoenix Rising.
about the lifestyle.
Like it.
I think the number one thing that I love about my job is
constipation.
the sense of pride that I get for
Yep.
delivering a scene. Our job is consistent with someone who is actually directing. We get to direct where we're shooting, what lens we're using, what's happening in the scene. Immortals Phoenix Rising, it's a very narrative-driven game, but it's also very lighthearted and stylized and very comedic. And I feel like that's where we get to shine as cinematic designers.
See, and the art style represents
One of the
that, but like
best
they haven't
example I
really
have
shown
actually
anything
for
that
this
shows
is
this
Zeus
game's
and Prometheus
comedic.
are bickering because
Yeah.
Zeus is very, very much bored about Prometheus' story. So he
So anytime
decides
of like
to
a
spawn
trailer
some
that shows
monsters,
off that it's
and
gonna
then
be
they
comedic,
just kind of
and
appear
then it would-
in the
I think
world.
the art style would
and
make
then
way more
the character
sense.
sees, so we
Yeah.
just kind of crouch zooms on them because we were trying to hit comedic timing. So there's little moments
Comedic
of
timing.
kind of like lightheartedness and part of the game that we really like to showcase. Ubisoft really likes to tell stories. And I think that's how you get the players
Seems
to really
confident
be
saying that.
engrossed within a world.
Line.
Ubisoft
We
likes
want to
to
make them feel something.
tell stories.
Even if it's just a
You
laugh
asking
or
or
a
telling?
chuckle. I think we did our job.
Keep an eye out for further updates on Immortals Phoenix
That's
Rising
good, yeah.
before
I
it
talked about the
launches
game. That's
this
why.
December 3rd.
I got worried.
Now, it's time to revisit a dear friend.
Like an actual deer friend.
I like deers.
Most
friend,
people
yeah.
think time is like a river
Oh yeah, this is
that
this.
flows swift
I
and
heard
sure
about
in
hearing
one
about
direction.
this.
Not good things.
But I have seen the face of time. And I can tell you, they are wrong.
Inside the hourglass is a marvel no living man has ever seen. Only the dagger can unlock the sands of time.
Is this like The Sims? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it looks
This
like
is
Sims.
testing interest.
I saw my father turn to sand.
You cannot defeat this enemy.
And if they're gonna pick one, this is a good one. This is the best one.
Yeah.
made.
Come with me then.
But
But I warn you, I move pretty fast. You'd better
it's
keep up.
very plasticky looking.
Yeah.
Prince, the dagger. It can
And it's an
turn
older
back
game,
time.
so I get it, but at the same time, like, it does not, did not look great.
It's a remake, not a remaster, right? So they're
Yeah.
making it from the ground up.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, so in that regard, like, it almost seems lazy.
I don't imagine
Yeah.
they give me a huge budget for it either, though.
Sure has a bigger budget than an indie game, though, and I'm sure an indie developer would make a game look better than that.
I brought this with us.
I think it's just lazy looking.
And courage.
Don't let go.
Quack would look him.
PS4, you play.
My name is Anu Kol. I'm working in an Ubisoft from past 13 years.
Anu is the senior producer of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake.
For me, it's a big dream. It's not a project, it's a dream that is coming true. Original Prince of Persia, you know, people love this game. It has put a mark in everyone's heart. And now what we are going to do is we are going to bring it back, because still people have that nostalgic feeling. People want to play that game. We are in an Indian studio. It's an Ubisoft Pune and Bombay. We actually love to work on this game because we can show everyone, you know, what India is. It's something which comes directly from our heart.
Pretty late in the cycle.
So, you know, the main game which was made back then, the main essence is there. All the characters are there. You have your prince, who's very iconic, who was in this game. You have the princess, Farah, and let's not like, you have a Wazir, who is the main villain in this game. All the sand creatures, you know. It just, we have give it a bit more flavorness, bit more enhancement. The voice which we are using for the prince is Yuri, the same voice which was back then. You know, it just put goosebumps on our hands also when we heard him, because you know, it's something which brings back to us to that nostalgic feeling.
How did you... Some people say time is like a river that flows swift and sure in one direction.
17 years later, but you know, the main good thing is his voice hasn't changed at all. I don't know how he do it, but it's the same.
Yeah, you sound pretty good.
Being able to work on the Prince of Persia is a huge honor, because I think it's a beloved game. We respected the original design. We respected the storyline, we respected the characters, we just enhanced everything in the game, from camera to combat, as well as the visuals.
Sure, absolutely.
And it does look way better than the original game. It came out in 2003,
which actually enhanced the velocity of the prince and his abilities to do amazing performance and amazing moves. We use the latest technology as well as the motion capture to bring realism and to bring logic and sense into the story. We heard the players' desire to play Prince of Persia: Sands of Time again,
that looks
and we are
sleazy as
very
fuck. Like if
pleased
you're in like
to
Las
bring
Vegas
it
and that
as
guy came
the
out
first
offering you
ever
something, you
remake
need to like
from
just
Ubisoft.
ignore him and keep moving.
He'd be flicking cards.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful story. We are very, very excited to.
Are you looking for a good time?
Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake releases January 2021 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
It's time to head over to the virtual city of Neo Arcadia, where an intense and fast-paced battle rages on.
Show them more about this, huh? Still pushing it.
Sure, because next year it'll be a different game.
Yep.
Money. I've never felt like that in a VR game before, but I think I like it.
I think I like it. He wasn't even confident about that. Don't just yell.
Yeah.
I start streaming more often. I just see him yell the whole time I'm playing.
Yep.
I'm gonna fucking shoot the guy. I shot the guy. I hit him in the head. He's dead. Oh yeah, this is great.
It's funny too, because like I follow like a couple people on Twitch now, and none of them like that, fortunately.
Same.
Yeah, they're probably not gigantic. They're people who yell.
They're not.
The people who yell are fucking huge.
Also, none of them have blue hair.
that!
Also, none of them have blue hair. So, that seems to be the thing as well.
Nice job, guys.
So I would recommend Spellbreak over this game. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. I would argue it's the past of Battle Royale. That thing seems pretty fucking behind the other games. They're all popular right now.
One big focus for the Hyperscape dev team is to regularly add gameplay content and features, keeping the game new and fresh week after week.
So sped up matches.
Turbo mode.
This is them beta testing if people want the game to be different. Like, do you guys like our leveled system? We just want the fucking item.
Turbo mode.
You want to just get in there faster? 5-minute matches? All right.
This next one
When
is
everybody
for the
plays
fans.
only that mode and stops playing the old mode, they're gonna go, The whole game's turbo mode now.
Commercials.
Cara, você não tá entendendo. Isso é hoje, aqui. A gente tem que ir lá.
It's a heartbeat, a pulse, a distant vibration. It's a surge, a rush, the raw of a nation. It's nothing you could have predicted, but everything you believed in. It's nothing you expected.
Is it a soccer game?
Everything you have achieved. It's nothing you could have trained for, yet everything you would have wanted. It's bigger than you could have imagined, yet everything you always needed.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's everything you achieved, everything you cared about. It's everything you accomplished.
They keep showing different countries. I don't know.
Watch Dogs.
No, it's not. I mean, if it is, they're revealing something they haven't been really advertising prior.
It's more than gaming. It's more than just support. It's cherished.
Oh, it's probably about esports. You'll play fucking Siege.
Probably.
Taken down. So quick from the defense. Through there, they're both on the side. It's gonna run the corner. Finds one kill. The second one goes down.
Share every moment. Share every action. Share every emotion. Share every struggle. Share every success. Every triumph.
Alright, I'm docking points for this part.
Your family, your teammates, your people, your country. Share the unforgettable.
I'm gonna forget this.
Rainbow Six, yep.
Right now.
I'm François-Xavier Deniel, eSport Director for Ubisoft. Today we are proud to have more than
That's, I heard
60
that was probably one of the most
million
toxic games someone's ever played in their
and we
life.
can say that we are top tier eSport title. It was the right
Got a lot of
moment
people playing.
to have
You're
a
gonna
new
run into
layer
assholes.
of competition.
Yeah.
We are working on
More
eSport
so
for the last 5 years when we defined a
annoyed
professional
that commercial
system
had nothing
with
to do with Rainbow Six.
organization and regional model.
Nothing.
So the Rainbow
Yeah.
Six World Cup
Other
is
than, like,
the
the
six on the
layer of
headphones.
competition of our esports ecosystem. It will be the first time we have a country-based competition for our esport title. In the Rainbow Six World Cup, we'll have 20 teams participating to the main
if you're
events,
into
but
esports,
more
this
than
is probably
45
exciting,
countries will participate
Sure.
to the
I don't
qualifier.
care about esports, so.
For such a special occasion, we are very happy to introduce Tony Parker, our ambassador for the Rainbow Six
And I
World
feel like
Cup.
they're spending a lot of time on it too. Like the
Very
whole
proud
commercials,
to
like
be with
fucking, I
Tony
think could have been like
Parker
a
today. So you will
third
be the
of the
ambassador
time
of
to get
our
the same
first
fucking
Rainbow Six World
idea
Cup.
across.
What I heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the rumor in the street.
But
So
they
you are
needed
part of
5
all
whole
the
minutes for
process
hype
of
words.
thinking about the World Cup. You will meet
And some
the
really
players,
bad
the coaches.
Rio de Janeiro
First of all, I'm
guy
very happy,
with a
very
phone that
excited
looked
about
fake
the
as shit.
opportunity
Just
to be
going,
an ambassador of the Rainbow Six, the first Rainbow Six World Cup. Thanks for choosing me. I'm excited to meet all the
Who on the other end
players
was
and
watching that
explain to
on
them
Instagram or
how
whatever, and
special
they're
it
like,
is,
"All right,
to play for your
I'm
country.
glad to see him."
It's very different than
Yeah,
team
bro.
playing. You know, like when you go to your country and you listen to the national anthem and you have the goosebumps and you know.
I got the
It's
goosebumps.
a great honor.
These guys, they play for organizations, they don't play for their country yet. For them, it will be something completely different. It will be the first time they will not play with their teammates. They play usually. What will be your advice?
Enjoy yourself because it's a unique experience to play in an international competition. And then there's all the pressure around it, you know, because
guy
when
was
you
hacking.
play for your
How
country, a
crazy
lot of
looking.
pride comes in and it's going to be a whole new competition. But I'm sure
like he was flying through the
if
map.
they can feel what I felt, you know, they will love the experience. And I think in the global scale for Ubisoft and Rainbow Six to take that challenge to do a
Competition's
World
not
Cup,
COVID friendly.
I think it can be big, you know, for the future,
I
for
don't
the
think
future
this
of the
is
game.
COVID.
I think it's just
Oh, it is.
huge,
They just don't give a fuck.
opportunity, you know, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
An ambassador like NBA champion Tony Parker just adds to the excitement for this massive event. Keep your eyes on all the Rainbow Six Siege social accounts for more updates.
Oh no! I
We're
don't even
not
know who
done
that guy
just yet
is.
with Rainbow. A new
He's an
season is
ambassador.
starting tonight. So let's see what the team has
Uh-huh.
planned.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Hi,
man.
I'm Leroy, Creative Director on Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, we're still going with
The
Siege?
Rainbow Six World Cup is going to be exciting,
I think they're actually
bringing
gonna talk
the
about the game
best
now,
player
though.
People
from
love it.
countries all over the world in summer
It's fine as long as they're talking about the
2021.
game.
But for now, let's focus on what is happening in the game right now.
Camera angle.
A couple of years ago, we made the commitment to be live for at least 10 years. And today, we are already close to the halfway point of this symbolic milestone. We are not only maintaining this commitment, but we are doubling down by investing more than ever to make the game grow and evolve. This season will be Siege's biggest one to date. And we're excited to bring a familiar face to the Rainbow Six operator roster permanently. Sam Fisher, our call sign Zero in Siege, is bringing his combat experience and training into the game.
You can't be him.
We are a huge fan of Sam, and we wanted to show you how he fits within our universe.
Is Ubisoft a fan of Sam Fisher? Because I haven't fucking noticed.
Lyra, how's that stuff work on arthritis?
The nanobots should help, but you'll pay for it tomorrow.
That sounds fair to me.
Harry says you're here to whip us into shape. That true?
Let's find out.
Move out, people!
Just blast him through fucking walls.
You can do that.
Man, this Sam Fisher's not very stealthy.
Has arthritis.
So he just fucking
little rusty, all right.
blasts people through the walls, runs at him, shoots him in the face.
Oryx! What's your seed rep done it? Mierda!
How did the first lesson go?
You might want to call a medic.
R&D has set up the facilities you requested. Same time tomorrow?
That's the deal.
Splendid. Anything else I can do for you, Sam?
Yeah. Call me Zero.
Available now.
The new season is live right now, and we're excited to get your feedback on Zero and the rest of features coming out. Before I go, we also wanted to share some more good news for our players. As you know, this year is special, since the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are coming out. Today, we want to announce that we are going to bring you the best Siege experience on console in 2020, with up to 4K and 120 FPS by the end of the year.
His enthusiasm's got me sold.
Current console players will all get this update for free once they upgrade to the next-gen platform of the same family.
He's just start freaking
As we
out.
said,
He's yelling.
We're in this for the long run, and we have plans for years to come.
Not
Thank
a coincidence, man.
Now it's time for a sneak peek at another fan favorite making its return.
I'm a little bummed out we didn't see actual gameplay, though. We got a cartoon.
Alright, cartoons are cool, but yeah. Where's the game?
Where was Sam? I want to see how he plays.
Oh, yeah, I forgot this is coming. Or it might be out now.
Scott Pilgrim?
Yes. Yeah, that game was awesome, and fucking they just didn't bring it back out.
Is this just a re-release? Okay.
I'm not adding anything to it, but yeah, it's just a re-release.
The best looking game they've shown so far.
Game's dope. That's how you do it. Fuck yeah.
You think that's impressive? I remember you and Josh played that a lot.
Oh, add-ons. Makes sense. Very cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's time to check in on the dystopian police state of future London.
Music is a huge cultural touchstone, and when you're working on a game that's set in a real place, it's something that you have to focus really hard on to make sure you get it right. When we asked Londoners who was an artist who would really reflect and underscore the themes of Watch Dogs Legion. Speaking up for the oppressed and holding those in power accountable. There was one name that came up over and over again. This guy went from, freestyling in the London underground music scene to headlining at Glastonbury in less than 5 years. He's had massive critical and commercial success. He's been on the cover of Time magazine. He's won dozens of awards. And he really has used his voice to speak up and fight for social and political change.
Yo, Ubisoft Forward, it's your boy Stormzy here, and I'm proud and honored to announce that I'm a part of Watch Dogs Legion. You lot are about to have your minds blown. What they have done in terms of recreating London is the most insane, epic, incredible thing I've ever seen.
So echoey.
You guys are about to get an exclusive.
Yeah, where is he?
White box. And also of my brand new
He's in the Ubisoft room. That's where they keep all their artists.
Me and my manager got a wicked relationship with. The excitement he phoned me with, I hadn't heard since I got booked for Glasgow. I was like, yo, bro, there's this game.
I mean, it's cool that he gets a whole mission, I guess.
Our beautiful city has been through the ringer. Now it's fallen into the hands of criminal organisations vying to control whatever's left. It's all gone to shit. Lucky for us, our underground hacker collective DedSec is here to build a resistance.
That was trippy.
But where do we start? Look around. Hipsters, punks, football fans, construction workers, paramedics, annoying tourists, grandparents.
I'm gonna have a gang of nothing but punks and grandparents. That's it.
Could become your next playable hero.
Solid plan.
And help.
Although I do like the fact that nurse just defibrillated that guy's head.
I would say the amount of creativity they've shown in like, hey, you're a fucking nurse, let's use a defibrillator. Hey, you're an old lady, let's fucking hide shit in your purse. Like,
he has a completely custom vehicle to make for a fast exit. And an anti-chase ability, making him immune to those pesky chase drones.
I hope it's fucking good.
He can also hack vehicles to clear the way.
Yeah.
That'll
that's
come
all
in handy in hot
this
pursuit.
honestly is hopefully gonna kind of like scratch like the itch that Saints Row can't do anymore for me. It'd just be like a fun, open world type game, you know?
Yeah, Saints Row is a completely different game than it used to be.
Eleanor? A hacker could always be useful. Thanks to her viral hacking skill, her hacks propagate, affecting everything in the surrounding area. She also can electrify enemies with her shock hack and can steal access keys without needing to enter an enemy location.
Transparent phones trip me out.
Yeah. Zippity zappity. Double tappity.
Epic. Feeling a little more artsy in your approach?
Maybe.
Teresa is a street artist. Her paintball gun gives her a non-lethal way to take out enemies, and she
So she's a
has
squid
paintballs
kid?
that can disorient them.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Not bad, eh? So how do you convince the people of London to join your team? Talk to them and find out what it takes to prove that your cause is worthy.
Tell me what's wrong.
I witnessed Albion doing some peak shit.
These Clan Kelly guys, they've gone too bloody far. My friend's gone missing.
Don't worry. DedSec will find them.
After you help them, they will join your ranks and become the stars of your story. As you explore London, keep a lookout. Some of the most legendary recruits are not someone you just run into every day. Like this
beekeeper?
Shelby. She can wreak havoc using her bee swarm. She also has a unique weapon, the Overcharger. Her suit gives her shock immunity, so she can take more damage from certain attacks.
I want to shoot bees at people. Bees!
Straight fucking sorcery.
Jesus Christ.
You can recruit the old bloody city if you want. Doesn't mean you should. Henry here's got low mobility. So he's not
Who's
really
the
fit
enemy?
for a mission that requires you to be nimble.
Damn.
Oh, grab it.
And Mark, he's a hitman. Seems like the perfect recruit. But if you're approaching a stealth mission, maybe you should keep an eye out for another hitman whose attributes don't include hiccups. No matter who you recruit, you can specialize each individual to complement your playstyle by choosing one of the many unlockable weapons and gadgets like the missile drone, the AR cloak, The Spider Bot. Yes, I did say Spider Bot. This is your team. Make it the way you
the
like.
first game, like,
Recruit
I
skillful
was trying to do
people,
something. I
adapted
took
for
myself very
various
serious,
types
and
of
this one
missions.
is just
Or
like
go with
having
weirdos
fun.
and grannies.
And it looks
It's great.
No one's here to judge. So get out in the streets and assemble your dream team. London is calling.
That's cool.
October.
Hello everyone, my name is Latish Srinathn. I am the live producer on Watch Dogs Legion. On behalf of the entire dev team, I want to send a huge thank you to all the fans for the love and support since our announcement. And today, I'm happy to announce that an old friend is coming back.
Ooh.
Sam Fisher.
Oh my God, please, please.
Unless it's a character from one of the prior games.
Maybe.
I think
I just want the same.
Yeah, I heard about this. It's the original guy.
Are you ready for me, London?
That's interesting. I, for some reason, thought it'd be the
You
guy from the
asked,
second.
and
the last
he's
game.
back. Older,
I don't
but
play
not
I still think it
necessarily
should be
wiser.
Sam Fisher.
Aiden Pierce
kinda
will be a
thinking
fully
Sam
playable
Fisher, sadly.
character in Watch
I think,
Dogs.
I think they should
Ubisoft
continue that
Forward.
meme in every game. Just add Sam Fisher to it at this point.
And that's not all. We're going to open up a whole new chapter in his story as part of our standalone DLC included in our season pass.
That's cool to add, like,
unique.
Stay tuned.
no, like
Welcome
continuity
to the
in the
Resistance.
story to connect them.
Everyone has a good reason
I
to
do think
join the
it's neat too is
Resistance
that they
in
have a
Watch
system in
Dogs Legion.
place where, like,
The fight for freedom begins
characters
on
can just be
October
anything, so they
29th.
can literally just add people from all
Ubisoft
their
Forward
games,
will be
like,
back in the upcoming months
pretty
with more of
easily.
everything you want to know about our developing games. But before we go, here's one more thing.
Just Dance.
Out in the woods.
BMX game. Snowboarding, skiing.
This looks like, oh god, what's it called?
Didn't we play this in Plus Club?
Yes. Unless this is a different game, but this looks like fucking, Steep.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting if they implemented, stuff that wasn't mountain related. Or, like, snow related.
It's literally just going to be everything.
It's fine.
Nope.
But it's literally Steep.
Yeah.
Just called Riders Republic. It has fucking
My name
shit
is
from
Charlotte.
Steep in it.
I work in Ubisoft Annecy, and
Probably
I'm a
just
senior
took
community
that.
developer. Today, I'm very excited to announce
Giving
our
a
new
reason to
IP,
be resold.
Riders Republic. Riders Republic is a mass multiplayer game where you enjoy extreme sports outdoors together with your friends and the community. Our studio is known for its expertise on many multiplayer games.
They should
and
release
there is
Steep
a
2
huge work
or
to
added
explore,
this to Steep.
so I'm very excited.
Riders Republic for me is about just killing it on dream terrain with the sickest extreme sports and doing it with other people. For Riders Republic, you enter into this world with all these people around you, which gives you a ton of possibilities to group up with them, to challenge them, to experiment.
You guys already made
with
this
different
game,
extreme
which is
sports
good.
on different types of
studio
terrain.
is and see if
You
you
have
made Steep.
forest, you have snow, you have sand, you have mountains, you have cliffs. It's amazing when you see all these people just flying around you.
When I'm saying you're saying
jumping
Steep
off of
2, I'm not
jumps,
saying it like a
jumping
bad
through
thing.
gates.
It's just funny that they're
one of
describing
those
this game
visions
like
that
they
you're
didn't
like,
make
oh
this
my God,
already.
this game's crazy.
Yeah.
This game is that next-gen social interaction game with a huge world and a lot of possibilities. It's literally an extreme sports fantasy
It's
land.
literally Steep 2.
Our objective was to really depict
Which is cool,
natural
'cause I love
places,
Steep.
and
I like
we
it a
wanted
lot.
to go for the biggest, the most
Ubisoft
impressive
Annecy.
natural places in the world. So we decided to go to the US national parks. What we did is actually stitching together 7 regions in a way that feels natural. But for each of them, we actually used GPS data so that everything you see stands there for real. And I think it's going to be a great experience. Our philosophy was to be able to welcome different kinds of players, let them enjoy the game the way they want, choose their setting, choose their sport, and let them go where they want to go. We're very excited to be able to reveal it to the world. So now I've got one more thing for you to check out. Enjoy it.
Gameplay,
Sam
please.
Fisher.
All right, they just dropped the trailer. My moment of glory awaits. God damn it, how do you work this piece of junk? They don't build them like they used to. Welcome to Riders Republic, Adrenaline Junkies. There are no rules here. But what's a republic without a constitution, am I right? Here's a few truths about how we lay it down. We, the Riders, welcome all thrill seekers to the Republic.
Totally Ubisoft game.
Yep.
Proponents of madness, get ready for radness. We, the Riders, salute
I hate that guy's
the
penis.
rationality of irrationality.
Oh my lord.
We, the Riders,
Not into
say
it.
that friends who slay together, stay together.
I like the idea of doing like
Gather
downhill
your
like
best friends.
fucking biking.
Go crazy, baby.
I mean, yeah, it's just neat that they put what was only snow sports and they're like, oh, let's add dirt.
Yeah, which makes sense. They have like the fucking
You ride, the Republic will
scroll
abide.
suits and all sorts of shit too. They're just like in Steam.
A jetpack.
1,000 Steam.
Go rogue or go home.
Rock, Dino, rock.
Very surprised if there's not any assets
We,
from
the
Steam.
Riders, insist that you do you always. Outrace, out-trick, outperform. And gain some cred by sharing the magic with the rest of the Republic. We, the Riders, claim the right to pair the best gear. Boards, planks,
These
bikes,
quirks,
or
that guy was
wings,
going like
whatever
500 miles
makes
per
you
hour. He's going back in time.
Be it road, freestyle, slopestyle, enduro, or downhill.
All right.
As you grow,
Variety.
the trip gets so slick, and it'll help you drop bigger cliffs. We, the Riders, assure epic events to build your rep.
Welcome to X Games. It's time to make some history.
Sign with hot sponsors and qualify for big-time competitions. Make a name for yourself. We never stop doing things for the first time.
Red Bull Rampage, the harshest and most unforgiving canvas for big mountain free riders.
Huge!
That was out of the trick bag.
Trials just knocking us out.
I can't even
And this
begin
looks
to
cool.
express how
I'll probably pick it up.
Also, I don't have anything negative to say. It's just funny that they've just rebranded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are the gnarliest jumps I've ever seen in one row. Oh, massive run. That's gonna be jumping.
I actually think it is smart they've just gone bigger with it. Because
That's all they could do.
Yeah. Well, it just
We, the
encompasses
Riders, invite
so
you to
much
leave the
variety
roads
at that
and
point.
Take the trails. Explore the land.
Paragliding?
Climb the peaks. Roam the natural world.
hide the
After all,
bears.
it's bad manners to keep the mountains waiting. Duel with your crew and show them who's boss.
Yeah, that's the word.
And join community challenges like heavy-duty mass races.
Give me that giraffe head.
Jeffrey got a new job.
Yeah! Reach that finish line first, Ryder.
Oh. Damn. That guy's dead.
That's not safe. That's too many people.
Yeah, none of this is safe.
Please be buns.
Join us, because we are the Republic.
It's a fucking cult. Rise of the Republic is a cult. It said gravity's a myth.
Be on the lookout for more
And they're all
updates
dying
on
for this
Riders
shit.
Republic in the coming months.
Today, you got the first in-depth look at Immortals Phoenix Rising. Caught a glimpse of Prince of Persia Sands of Time Remake. Got to fight off 7 evil X's in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game. And witnessed the big reveal of Riders Republic.
Is that all they showed?
Along
I
with
feel like
so
there's a
much
lot-
more.
Okay, I'll say. I feel like I've
You
been
can
here a
expect
while.
more
Well, they
reveals
spent
and
like
news
half of
in the
it talking
next
about Rainbow
Ubisoft
Six.
Forward. Be sure to stay tuned for the
Not even
post show,
about Rainbow Six,
featuring a
but fucking
walkthrough of
esport
Immortals
of it.
Phoenix Rising
And
a
the
Roller
cartoon.
Champions show match.
Right.
What happened?
I don't know.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ubisoft Forward post show.
Okay, it's over.
We can stop there. All right. So yeah, saw a lot of stuff there. What do we think? We'll start with Chris.
So far, I think this is the best one we've watched so far. It was really. I think its pacing wasn't horrible, but it was actually really well done. It wasn't the best, but it kept going at a decent rate. And I was entertained here and there. I mean, I laughed. I wasn't just being like, "Ugh, fucking hurry up already." But as far as games that like really piqued my interest, Watch Dogs was really the only thing I was really super interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should. Oh no, yeah, I played it every day. I'm
So did
super
I.
stoked about that.
I just literally clicked on the video, looked at Hyperscape. I was like, oh yeah, we watched that. I forgot.
And then,
I mean, Riders Republic. It's energetic. It's fun. It's flashy looking. It's bright and colorful in a good way, not in a weird saturated way. It looks entertaining, but it's probably not something I would be super invest a lot of time into. And the Phoenix game, that's such a weird color palette with art design.
Mm-hmm.
It felt off in cinematics, but okay in gameplay. It was really weird. But overall, I think I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
Fair. Chevy.
I also agree. I think the pacing was fine. There was a couple parts that started to feel kind of slow, but by the time I was getting kind of annoyed with it, it was ending. The only part that just annoyed me right off the bat was the music video part. I thought that was completely stupid, but I'm the wrong demo for that, obviously. As far as like the rest of it, even if I wasn't like super excited for everything, I wasn't bored. I had a good time with it. I wish we would have seen Rainbow Six instead of just heard about like they're doing a World Cup thing and then that a cartoon as a reveal for Sam Fisher instead of actually showing Sam Fisher. Even if they just showed the game model, just something. I don't know. It was a weird choice in my opinion, but it's outside of my realm of interest anyways, so I'm probably not the right person to be talking about it. I do think it's neat that they are making the Prince of Persia game. I do agree, like visually it's kind of disappointing, but the fact that they are kind of dipping their toes back into that IP at the very least to maybe just see if people are interested again, maybe they can reinvigorate that. Ubisoft is that kind of company anyways.
Mm-hmm.
They will reinvent the wheel essentially.
Yeah.
I think Watch Dogs was the highlight as well. Which is funny because as a game series I just did not give a shit about, and the more I see on it, the more I'm like, you guys have pretty much sold me on this game. It just looks fun, and I appreciate that the focus has not shifted away from just it being fun. I'm glad they're not trying to sell it as like this serious thing at this point now, because I think it'd be giving us mixed signals at that point. And I am looking forward to just hopping into a game and not like that can like have a serious storyline but not take itself seriously, and just have all that kind of choice. I don't know, it just seems neat. Intimidating for me, but I think the fun factor can push me past that. What else? Let's see. The first game, I can't remember the name of it now. I think the one thing that really stands out to me about that, because we kept like comparing to other games, but a lot of those comparisons were free to play games, and that's what the vibe I think is. It comes off almost like a free to play game, but it's being made by a AAA company. So
There's the name.
Yeah.
What do you think of that name? I don't like it.
I think it's forgettable.
Immortals, Phoenix Rising. But it sounds generic.
Well, and then, they're trying to be clever with the Phoenix part, but...
I guess people spell shit differently all the time.
Well, I did say try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, overall, it was a pretty good presentation. I'm not, necessarily excited for anything, but I do think it was a fun sit down and watch, so...
Yeah. I think overall it's pretty decent. We're running to a lot of these presentations we're watching recently feel like they are doing what they can during the times we are living in right now. So I'm trying not to judge them too much, but it does feel like each one of these I'm watching is almost kind of letting me know things are coming, but it's not showing me enough of those things. So that has been the bigger disappointment in most of these. I do think the pacing of this was really good. I think it was pretty smooth. Everything I watched I was interested in, except for a couple things. The Siege World Cup thing I just have no fucking interest in, and maybe it's because I don't give a fuck about it, but I feel like I spent a lot of time on it. It feels a quick blip. I'd be like, whatever, but we watched that whole thing just to let us know that a lot of people everywhere potentially are excited for this, and I'm like, that's cool, but that commercial was really dorky, and then that just didn't do much for me. Immortals Phoenix Rising, if the gameplay's awesome, it's going to speak for itself. But from what I see so far, I don't think it looks bad. I just think it looks... The name's generic. I think the game looks kind of generic. What you're going to do in the game sounds kind of generic. Now, the only thing I can think of that really kind of really holds its own, I guess, is that it's going to be Greek mythology, which is cool because there's a couple games that do Greek mythology stuff, but it's not that common. So anyone trying it out, that's cool. I do even though we got zero fucking examples of it, except for a guy fucking grabbing his gut. I do like the idea that it possibly is going to be an open world game that's comedic. That's something maybe we fucking need right now. All these games come out and they're all really gritty and realistic and very serious. And so maybe this idea of having this open world adventure type game that has a comedic element to it is something I haven't seen in a while. So that's cool. I need to see more on the game, but what I saw so far, it seems like a game that's not going to be for me. But that could change because I thought the same thing when Watch Dogs Legion was first shown off. I thought the same thing when Skull and Bones existed in the capacity that it used to when it's first shown. I looked at that, I was like, eh. And then later I was like, I want to play that. And then I was like, well, you wanted to play it, but it doesn't exist anymore in that capacity. So yeah, and that's Ubisoft. They could change something up, so they're not opposed to it ever.
Has 2 examples of rebranding happen in that show. So
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. There's everything I watched on that just seems like fucking a generic game. So maybe we'll finally get a trailer for it. They'll show some of the more comedic elements or some of the gameplay that seems more interesting. They just showed it, so. But from what I've seen so far, not super excited for it. All the Sam Fisher stuff, just is an insult to me as a Splinter Cell fan. It doesn't really negate, anything from the presentation. It's just annoying as a fan of Splinter Cell that I'm not getting Splinter Cell. Fucking Prince of Persia. I forgot the name of that game. I'm glad it's coming back. I actually really liked that Prince of Persia. Back in the day, so if they're going to be bringing it back, that's the good one to be bringing back and remaking. And honestly, if it's at a good price point, I'll probably still play it. I do think that the faces look pretty fucking bad, though. That's not enough to make me not want to play a game. Huh?
The Sims of Persia.
Yeah, it definitely looks like The Sims. That was kind of a thing, too, all over fucking Twitter. People are like, why is this The Sims? And I'm like, that's a good question. If only they talked like Sim, or if they talked Simlish, that'd be fucking... worth it then. See, I would want to play that game. But it looks cool. It looks cool. I think people are being really harsh on it, but I also agree with them. Just looking at this, it looks like Play-Doh. So it's I feel like it could look better.
Yeah.
But that's not a criticism in the sense that I'm not going to fucking touch it. So.
Well, it doesn't have to look like, Last of Us or God of War good, either.
Yeah.
It could just,
for sure.
But like a current gen game, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it looks like, and it's a remake. It looks like an old version that's just been kind of touched up.
Yeah, it looks like a remaster.
Yeah, exactly. So they should have just called it a remaster. I wouldn't be sitting here bitching about it. It's like, okay, yeah, well, that makes sense. Even if they did remake it from the ground up. Hyperscape, I don't give a fuck about, but I get they have to show it. The game came out. They gotta try and make it succeed. So and let people know that some people are hyped for it. So if people are liking it, they're liking it. I didn't like it, but I get why they had to show it. Yeah, Splinter Cell, whatever. Scott Pilgrim coming out. Very cool. Very happy about that. Me and Josh have had many conversations about how that just is like doesn't exist anymore and we can't play it. So it's very cool to see that. Watch Dogs Legion is a game. Every time I see it, I want to play it. So I'm going to play it when it comes out. So I'm excited for it. They have sold me on it. This Stormzy dude, he may be great at what he does. I'm not familiar with him. And what they showed with him here is great for fans of him. If you're a fan of him and you want to see him in the game, that's cool. I think it is cool, even as a person who doesn't follow him, that if people really dig him and he's going to have his whole own mission in this game, that's cool. But this didn't mean anything for me. And to have this little, like, kind of chintzy looking music video was, like, not really anything I was too interested in watching. But the gameplay looks awesome. Very excited for that. And yeah, as a fan of Steep, like I even before we played on PlayStation Plus, I'm like, I like Steep. I want people to play Steep. And then it came on PlayStation Plus. I'm like, finally, I got people to play Steep with. That game just had a really cool idea. Whatever this is, whether they're abandoning Steep and making this now, or maybe we'll get a Steep 2 and this, which would make no sense because this is just taking everything Steep did and adding more. I like the idea of Riders Republic. I will most likely pick this up. Just because I really, really, really liked the idea of Steep, and I liked the variety, and that is a game that I can just start up and just kind of play because there's so much shit to do, different ways to play and stuff like that, and this is just only adding even more stuff to do. A lot of the mountain biking was very fun looking to me. Kind of reminded me of Trials. Kind of reminded me of there's a game I think it's called like Downhill Racers or something like that. It's on Xbox. I think it just came out on PS4 recently, and it's like indie made, really shitty looking, but it's still fun because you're just bombing down hills, trying not to crash. And this just looks like a AAA version of that. So in that regard, so and yeah, I think that's about everything I got anything to say on. Overall, for the presentation, I think it was done well. Ubisoft's really good about just kind of moving forward, going fucking keeping a good pace. When they have their people pop in, they just say a couple things and move on. Their transitions are good. I like the multiple boxes zooming in and out thing and moving over. Yeah. It's a cool aesthetic. And the stuff that I felt like was a waste of time was pretty brief, except for the World Cup thing. That was just really boring as fuck. Yeah, but I liked it. Overall, I think I would probably give it a B-. I
was thinking B- myself.
Same. B-.
All right. All thought B-. Anything else you guys want to say on Ubisoft Forward before we move forward?
Not necessarily specifically for Ubisoft Forward, but just conferences in general right now. Obviously, we live in a weird time right now, but I'm getting kind of like weirded out that we got these consoles coming out, this next generation of gaming, and we're just not seeing it like at all, and it's kind of sad. So
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me though.
Especially because they're coming out like soon.
Yeah, it nothing. Like where's the visuals and stuff for that? The only game company really doing that is fucking 2K with that Godfall.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, Godfall's like the only next gen game
being shown.
Like in general,
yeah,
it's the only next gen game. You're buying a PS5 and an Xbox.
Ratchet and Clank
for Ratchet and Clank and Godfall. Those are the games coming out. That's it. There's no other games. I've been told Gran Turismo 7's coming out. I'd love.
Yeah, I mean we
see more of that.
We've seen like little bits here and there, but just like with these non like, that was Sony showing that off, that stuff off, and I guess including Godfall, Sony was one showing that off as well. I think that was also Microsoft's, but all these third-party shows aren't showing shit. Like, I don't get it. So
they're all just letting you know you can upgrade your game to the next gen, which is cool. But yeah. I'm looking for the new games. So yeah, anything else? Let us know in the comments what you guys think of this guy in his suit. How sleazy is he? What do you think he does when he's not in the office? And
would you take a card from him?
I would not. I would not touch anything he's touched. What do you think of this Ubisoft Forward? What was the highlights of it for you? What were the worst parts of it for you? Do you think overall it was a good presentation? Do you think it could have been better? Are you excited about Phoenix?
Phoenix Rising.
Immortals Phoenix Rising. Are you excited? Let me deep dive. What do you think about that game? Are you excited for it? Are you not excited for it? Do you kind of agree with what we're saying kind of? Do you think there's more to it that we might be missing? Are you excited for an open world comedic game? Does that sound cool to you, or do you want to be something a little more gritty? And yeah, other games. Have you played Hyperscape? What do you think of that? I don't know, and no one talks about it. Nobody. What do you think about Riders Republic? Are you excited for that? Did you play Steep? What did you think of that? And what did you think about everything when it comes to the Ubisoft Forward? Let me know in the comments below. It's that time again where we read your guys' comments and we reply to them. If you want your comment to be considered, make sure to type in #AskTLG on your comment, and I will pick that one for sure, like Keith here did. He actually did a #AskTLG before, and then he replied to me with a #AskTLG. So we're having a conversation with him on the show. And yeah, if you want to be shown on the show and replied to, for sure, #AskTLG. Otherwise, I pick at random. Yeah, so this goes back to a couple weeks ago where we reacted to Gamescom, which was a much worse presentation than the one we just watched. Yeah, we reacted to it. We watched a bunch of stuff. We talked about WoW at a certain point. I believe that's what this one is about. Yep, Shadowlands. And yeah, we responded to his original. #AskTLG if you want to see us talk about that. Make sure to watch our last Tastecast. And he continues the conversation with #AskTLG, saying, I guess I should have clarified my comment about the failsafes implemented for Shadowlands. And this is in response to, we were talking about it's a smart system. I'll talk for myself mostly, but I was saying it's a smart system that they're going to have fail-safes, but I was kind of worried about the confidence of implementing fail-safes when it comes to releasing a game. So he's clarifying a bit on that. I guess I should have clarified my comment about the fail-safes implemented for Shadowlands. The fail-safes aren't for entire features or systems. Those are all staying in the game. There are 4 houses, kind of like Hogwarts in the SL. You play through the expansions, leveling zones, and then at the end you choose which covenant you want to join. That sounds kind of cool. These were originally meant to be permanent decisions, but Blizzard has since changed that to a small penalty for switching them. If players don't like the penalties, then their fail-safe would be to just take the penalty out of the game, not the entire feature. Sorry for the misunderstanding. That's completely fine, and you clarified, and that's cool. It's actually, it makes me roll back my opinion a little bit. But again, also, it's kind of weird to still see them implement a feature and going, we're gonna punish you if you want to leave this thing, but if you guys don't like that feature, we'll get rid of it. And I can only imagine the community going, let's just say we don't like it and just get rid of it, so we don't have to have that penalty, unless people are actually dedicated enough to the game to just kind of respect that is a system, which I probably would, because I like a game that there are risks to doing things. I don't like a game where you can just do whatever the fuck you want. I get bored in games like that typically. It sounds like a cool system. I hope they keep it, and I kind of like the idea of joining covenants. 1 of 4. That's pretty neat. So yeah.
I mean, really, the only thing I gotta say is like, as a games as a service model, I mean, there's a balance there, obviously, of like making sure you still have some creative freedom, but also keeping the people paying happy. So hopefully they do find a good balance with that. It sounds like they are. I do think it's pretty standard fare for MMOs to put in a feature, and if it gets, essentially a bunch of people yelling about it, like, oh, I hate this, most of the time they're going to roll back on it. I'd be really blown away if they didn't. So I'm glad to hear that they're at the very least being transparent about that and bringing that out there.
Yeah.
And then, that's really all I got on that, to be honest. So,
Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice because we don't know what the penalties are, how severe they're going to be yet. And so they could be pretty minor, or they could be something that could be really, detrimental to your character. and just having an option of like, okay, well, we'll just like kind of pull it out and maybe like rework it and then possibly reintroduce that could be the ideal behind that, but who knows? But it's nice to just be able to be like, okay, we're going to listen to you to a degree, but like we said, it's a matter of how like finicky and panicky they are about pressing that button to remove it real quick.
I agree. Yeah. So thank you, Keith, for your comment. Thank you for coming back and clarifying what you said. So typing things through text can kind of exacerbate the communication aspect, as people have probably experienced in texting people or in our Discord, where people say things and people get upset with each other. It happens. Text is that's why I'm like such a big advocate of like not the clarification thing, although clarification is important, but I fucking use emojis like a motherfucker because like I have a dry sense of humor anyway. It's already kind of hard like in person for people like, is he fucking serious? But like in text too, I'm like happy face, smiley face. I'm not fucking being a dick, I swear. So yeah, communication, good. Thank you for the comment. Yeah, so our last episode was Tastecast episode 123, where we reacted to Black Myth Wukong, and we talked about game releases, and we read your comments. And yeah, the Black Myth Wukong, we talked about that. Make sure to go back and check out our thoughts on that in the last Tastecast. And yeah, we got a comment from Amelia Cho that says, I am so excited for this game. I grew up with Journey to the West, read it all the time. The mythology is so fascinating and in-depth. I saw a bunch of reactions to it out of curiosity to others, how others would react, and a lot of the mythology seems to be completely lost on most modern viewers. Even among those that know some, like the 72 transformations, they misunderstand the original text, the 72 transformations being a common mistranslation when it actually was 72 abilities, which the video game got right judging by the characters at the bottom of the screen. Transforming was one of those abilities. I like that they're going with an interesting interpretation too, where you seem to be playing as an imposter. This game also marks an important moment in China to make it into the AAA industry and could spark a change based on some of the comments by Fang Ji. This'll be the first in a planned trilogy. Chevy, thoughts?
I actually, I don't think I have anything to really say to that, to be honest. Yeah.
You excited at the idea of Chinese games making it to the West if this does come in West?
I'm excited for any good game to exist, period.
I agree. Yeah, as somebody who's fairly familiar with Journey to the West, but not like somebody who's like read it. I've just picked up bits and pieces through all the media or mediums out there that have taken inspiration from it. I've kind of pieced together, that there's definitely plenty of abilities, but I don't know the specifics of the 72, which is quite a bit of abilities, which is interesting. Although when I did watch the video, I did get a sense of the imposter thing without actually knowing that that's the thing that's going on there, just because the dude you're playing seems kind of scraggly, I guess, and there's a scene in the game later where like some real big fucking regal monkey guy shows up, like he's super important. I was like, wait, is there two Wukongs, or is that guy the real one, or that one the fake one? So yeah, a lot of it is lost on me for sure, but at the same time you can kind of piece it together if you're paying attention as well. But yeah, that's a really interesting one because culturally, yeah, like a lot of people aren't going to be familiar with it. So, and it's very famous in other cultures. So, it's got to be kind of interesting to watch people react to it and not have possibly the reaction you may want or expect because they don't have the knowledge of that story in mythology. And then yeah, the China make it into AAA industry. It's that'd be kind of crazy. I mean, this is indie developed apparently, from what I read, but it looks great. I don't know what they're using. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Unreal or something, or some engine they made, which would be fucking very impressive. But I would love to see games really from any country that we don't typically get games from. I love the idea of people getting to develop games, but also bringing them up to a level that we think of as very standard here. So if we start getting AAA Chinese games, I think that'd be really cool. And that's a culture that's so different than a lot of other cultures that I think they'd be able to offer games that we're not getting here at all. I mean, this Wukong game looks, in its mythology and fantasy, very different than, what we typically get in a lot of Western games. If this is a planned trilogy, that'd be cool. That'd be welcome. If the game's awesome, it'd be cool to get another two of them to tell like a grand story. So that's exciting to me. And overall, this is an interesting insight that you gave us with that. So, Chris?
I'm always grateful to see any kind of like mythos that based games go closer to what the original mythos would be, and not so much the crazy Western stylizations that sometimes that we get with things. Not that there's anything wrong with those; those can be entertaining and fun. But it's always nice to see like the source material taken more serious every now and then for these types of game styles. So I'm kind of excited about that as well. And like Chevy said, it doesn't matter where the game comes from, what country or whatever. I don't care. As long more games is great. More AAA games is great. I think even independent games indie games like this that look at this level. I'm just excited for it. It's just great to have more games out there.
Yeah, she might be on the same page as me though on this, in the sense of like being excited for China to do that as a country, because like I'm a dork, and like when the movie Nachnoy Dozer Night Watch here came out from Russia, that was Russia's first ever big budget AAA Hollywood style movie ever, and it came out here, and I like it. I like the books. It's not a masterpiece, but for me it was a big leap for Russia to be developing movies of that size. And Russia's a very different culture than us, and so I welcome seeing the movies that they may offer. Same thing with China. Like if they start making AAA games, that's a whole new set of fucking ideas and games that just don't exist. So that's very exciting for me as well. But yeah, I mean, I welcome games from anywhere as well. Like I said, if someone in Turkey starts making AAA games, I mean, cool. I mean, if someone in just anywhere, Brazil, I don't care. Like, but for China to do that, for Russia to do the thing I said, it's exciting. It's cool. But I get what you guys are saying for sure. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
All right. Thank you, Amelia, for that comment. Wade says, I'm honestly shocked my 188 Instagram followers didn't jettison this channel into the YouTube orbit.
Sounds like you don't have very loyal followers.
I think all 188 of those people should have been instantly on board. They should have heard Wade say that and go, holy fuck, I respect Wade so much. He's like a god king to me that I will do what he says and I will fucking subscribe. That didn't happen. I was just surprised. I was like, whoa. Anything to say, Chris? As a moderately decent human being.
As you are.
Still appreciated. If you guys want to see what we're talking about, Wade endorsed our channel. It's on the beginning of that Tasty Cast. And
Slanderer.
Huh?
Slanderer,
yeah. He slandered the fuck out of one of us. I'll let you guys figure out who that is by watching that video. But it was very much appreciated.
Especially the slander.
Yes, the slander is very welcome. From Keith, we got another comment saying, okay, my crush has switched over to Wade. Peace, Josh. All caps. Peace, Josh. I'm single and ready to mingle.
I think the only person who can respond to this is Wade and Josh.
Waiting for a response from Wade. He did respond to it, actually. Josh hasn't said shit. He's been quiet. I think he's been really kind of upset by this. I haven't heard from him in days.
Heartbreaking.
He won't play Guild Wars 2. He won't talk to me.
I texted him yesterday.
Yeah, he's upset.
About me texting him?
Yeah. Josh is upset about a lot of things right now. Life's hard. I think he might have made the right choice, though. Hop over to Wade. Wade endorsed the channel. It's very appreciated. So have a crush on him. Everybody have a crush on Wade. And then the last comment we're going to read is from Dinos7473 that says, just look up Monkey Magic. Best show I used to watch back in the early 80s. Does not matter how deep in a basement someone has been for the past many years. This story has been told a million times. Monkey Magic, from the 80s to Monkey King trilogy to dozens of Journey to the West films, TV shows, and even The Forbidden Kingdom with Jackie Chan and Jet Li. As for games, a fuck ton of them. I defo liked 2010's Enslaved Odyssey to the West, which is the game I brought up. It's a cool fucking game. Definitely inspired 100% by Journey to the West. So it's nothing new, but I admit this game looks the dog's Archies. I cannot wait to try it out. I leave you with, this video is fucking wild. If you're watching this, you guys should all check it out. It's from that Monkey Magic show, and it is fucking crazy. But yeah. Any thoughts?
What's a dog's Archies?
Chris, what's a dog's Archies?
I would assume it's that place with the dog's back legs bent backwards, like instead of the bee's knees, the dog's Archies.
Possibly. That's a good one. That's probably it. But yeah, I just like this comment because fucking because I clicked that link and fucking here, I'm gonna send this to you, Chris. All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. They're fucking straight up ambitious with this show.
I'm gonna say, these are big ideas for what they were able to do.
All right, so that's that. Thank you for that link.
Amazing.
Thank you for enlightening me on Monkey Magic. And
that was probably the most entertaining thing we've watched today.
Yeah, sadly. God damn it! I keep opening that up. But yeah, I agree. It's stories told a million times. 100% agree. I actually had somebody comment on this very video. You guys can check it out yourself. Who seems to think that there's nothing that's inspired by it that's anywhere other than somewhere. I don't know.
It is an interesting contrast of comments.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's saying fucking fact, like we're all saying. Another guy was very upset and made up a weird scenario that doesn't exist. So yeah, I completely agree. And then yeah, I also liked Enslaved Odyssey to the West. That's the part I forgot, the Odyssey to the West part. But that game was really good, and allowed Ninja Theory to get to the point where they can make Hellblade, which is fantastic. So they have a really good legacy behind them. Anything you guys want to add to that, Monkey Magic?
Thank you for the enlightenment.
Yeah. Chris?
I want to go download it right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious now. All right, that's going to do it for this segment. Thank you, everybody who commented, and thank you, everybody who commented who did not get featured. If you'd like to be featured, make sure to type in hashtag AskTLG on your comment, and you will most likely be featured. But that's going to do it for this episode of TasteCast, episode 124. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Whatever happens to TikTok, I heard somebody's going to buy it. Microsoft's like, we're not doing it, but somebody else is going to buy it. Oracle, yeah. So yeah, we're on all that shit. Links down below. We have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. We have a Patreon link down below as well if you'd like to support the channel. And yeah, am I missing anything?
If so, everything's below us. So
my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm there. Not Chris.
Until the next episode, have a good one, guys, and take it easy.